Yo, peace, peace, peace. COE's in the building. Taking the intro music. One, two, one, two. Yo, you can hear me? Yeah. All right then. Did you hear the intro music? Did you hear the intro music? We can hear you barely. Loud and clear. Yeah, sound good. A little louder might be good, but we can hear. Let me try to turn it up. Give me one sec. Trima's working with that. Trima's working with that hands-free thing still. You say you can hear that better, yeah? And said big up content, the rat, you know. COE don't work with the Jakes, man. You never heard no tunes, nah. 1-3. Let me say 1-3 instead of 1-2. Bad man not playing number 2, you get me? But yeah, man, to do this stream is still car. Oh, that's a mad thing, man. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. Come on to air that intro, you know. It's the whole point of the thing still. That's one big major part of the thing still. Give me one sec. Sure.
their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Tight profile, low, like 8 and paid in full. Attract heavy cash, cut the game centrifugal. Mr. Fantastic.
Are you air that yet?
Elastic, got my life with twin clocks that's made out of plastic. Can stand up brown nose and nigga fake ass bastard. Admiring my style, tall bustin' and hats and plotting, playing the quickest. My flow's the sickest, my hoes be the thickest. My dro, the stickiest. Street nigga, stamped and bona fide. When beef jump niggas.
No, it's coming from the mic, so I ain't gonna sound too great still, but hold that for the minute. It's taking the lyrics. Hope you can hear the lyrics. This song's called Rap Snitches. They tell all their business.
Telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years.
Yeah, rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness.
Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years.
True, there's rules to this shit. Fools dare care. Everybody wanna rule the world with.
Right, let me just play this one. Let me play this one a good time. I'm gonna start the show after this one still. Little 30-second thing.
Yo, that Rap Snitches shit on the Doom album, yeah, that's easily one of the greatest shits ever. Rap Snitches, telling all their business, taking the cut, they be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. That shit was hilarious. I was like, this song needs to be out now. Needs to be a hit. Just say like, oh my God. How you gonna sell crack and talk about it? Right. That's the point of selling crack. It's supposed to be a secret. Every week is mystery meat. Seaweed stew.
Yeah. So add a thing going now. Obviously, you already know COE's policy. COE film what happened at the park and a broadcast. I try to keep my own personal bias off of how man present what man's filmed, you get me? And more time, whenever you see a one-on-one to the camera, to COE's camera, more time, it's them come and ask me to be filmed, you get me? I don't really run down nobody to film them to do a one-on-one thing. I like this capturing what happens in Speaker's Corner naturally, you get me? Everybody knows my style. I try not to put no bias on the thing. And as a result, a lot of people come up to man and they give me the label as unbiased. You get me? But I don't ask for that, but it is what it is. People call me unbiased. I'm glad for that. Because man's trying not to put no bias on the thing, you get me? But here's how the thing go now. If you know within yourself that you're doing something that should be hidden from police, it don't make sense you going on a public forum and expressing that, you get me? It just don't make sense. As I was playing the song, for those of you who don't know, those of you who ain't from the road, you ain't supposed to do crime and talk about it. It don't make no sense, you get me? So I don't know the intricate details with the Abu Qasim case. So I don't know exactly what he's been found guilty of. But I did hear that they used one of the videos that I filmed of him, which he asked to film, just to put that in parentheses, just to highlight that. A video that he asked to film. I'm going to play a bit of it now. This was supposed to be used to show, this is what I'm airing. This is all rumors, by the way. Man need to come and confirm still. The link's in the description for those of you who's familiar with the case. But yeah, I'm airing that. The footage that man filmed was used to show that his character is bad, he's untrustworthy, basically. So let me run the video. Let me run the video and make it air that still. Give me 1 sec. Oh, the thing don't drop out, you know, car. The thing's been moving crazy still. Give me 1 sec. All right, then. Let me know if you can air this. Give me a 1 in the comments if you can air this. What you saying? You can't hear that mad thing. Give me 1 sec, man. I'm gonna try to fix the sound, cause I don't know what I'm going right now, you know. Sure. Give me 1 sec. Let me try to fix this thing, man. Bamba clot. Sure. I don't know what I'm going, you know. Sabotage, you know. I'm a style of thing. Yo, man run up on me in the park, you know, fam. I hope you know that. Man run up on me in the park and say, yo, I see how you want to do a video, you know. You know my platform run. Everyone's allowed to do what they want. You're allowed to say what you want. As long as you ain't inciting no violence. Let me pause this while I'm trying to fix the sound, man. Let me pause this while I'm trying to fix the sound. Man ain't trying to, as long as man ain't inciting violence, then you can basically say anything you want. Because sunlight is the best disinfectant, you get me? I believe ideas should be debated and challenged rather than hidden, you get me? And forbidden. You get me? As if everybody's so naive that as soon as they hear something, they're just automatically gonna go and carry out the worst action, you get me? So that's my stance with the thing. You get me? But let me try to get this thing working, man. Let me try to get this thing working. At the same time, man ain't trying to endanger nobody's life. So if I feel like a man's really coming on to the platform to say something where he's trying to cause harm to reach innocent people, man ain't putting that out. Man ain't putting that out. You get me? But I try to detach the person personally from the information what they're saying. If someone's got a bad reputation, for instance, Anjem Chowdhury, but if he was allowed to come to Speaker's Corner and talk his thing after everything what police know about him, so long as he weren't saying that and that's inflammatory, the man's gonna film what happens in Speaker's Corner. What go on? What do you feel like? I'm just gonna not just pretend that man ain't there because it makes man upset. Yo, if man's allowed to speak in Speaker's Corner, then it's most likely that COE is gonna film and broadcast it because man's trying to capture what happens in Speaker's Corner. You get me? But yeah, if man's gonna snitch on man's self, you already know the tingle. I don't know. It's like I would understand man complaining about me filming sketchy quote unquote individuals if I was just filming them and putting them on some private network where the message is only reaching the people who's gonna be activated. You get me? You know, I don't know if you've seen Born Supremacy when man press a button and man just turn into man just stop everything what they're doing and they start tracking man and looking to murder people. I don't know if that's what he thinks that what COE is running here. COE runs an open public platform that anything you say is gonna be broadcast to the masses, whoever's watching. Man are talking like raw. Man sending footage to the Jakes as if the Jakes ain't in the park watching everything what happens in the park live as it happens. I don't know. Certain people are dancing it. I don't know what to do for them people there still, but they say empty barrel make the most noise, and they're making a lot of noise right now. So man, have to adjust the thing. You get me? But yeah, if you're dumb enough, like I said, if you know that you're doing something and you believe the thing, you're up to no good, and you're trying to style the thing and talk slick, but you're doing it in a public forum, just know that there's people smarter than you that's gonna know what you're doing, and they're gonna be onto you in it because you're exposing yourself. It's better you don't say nothing. You get me? So let me see if I got this thing working now, man. Let me know. Give me a one if you can hear this now. Let me know if you can hear it. Man are wet snitching on themselves. We saying no one can't hear nothing. Yo, I don't know what go on, you know. Shit. Man said man are wet snitching on themselves and man are balling. How you gonna sell crack and talk about it? And then be angry? Yeah, idiot. Oh man. Give me 1 sec, man. I don't know what go on, you know. Come on, I have to air this thing still. about now? Hey, Richard K. Back up. What you saying? Let me know now if you can edit thing. COE is being paid by Muslims not to play it. No sound, no sound, no. Oh my days. Alright, what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna have to just make it feed through the mic, you know. It's gonna sound crusty still. Alright. I'm gonna have to make it play live, like through the mic, man. It's gonna sound whack still, but that's how it go.
Listen. So maybe I'm famous.
Let me run it back from the top. Let me run it back from the top.
Maybe this.
This is supposed to be the video that was used against me. Let me know if you can hear it.
You said it got slandered last week. Yeah, last week. And we're live streaming as well now, you know. Yeah? So you know. Let's go.
I use the air now, yeah? And let me give you the context. As I said last week,
Last week.
as I said last week before this, I think it was Paperboy, Steve, and Paul Williams. I don't even like chatting, man. You know, I beg the man to just jump on the panel. Cause I feel like every time I watch these Speakers Corner live stream panels, they ain't on the front. I feel like the man them are gossiping like a bunch of gal, you know. It's not a good look, fam. Man feel dirty. Man feel like dirt, as Uncle Omar would say. Man feel like dirt chatting bare man's name. I need to just make the thing. I need to make everybody know where I'm going. You get me? So, man's reluctantly chatting people's names still, but yeah, last week, them man came down, and apparently they got wind of some paper article, I think by the Telegraph or something like that, or the Daily Mail, one of them, where this brother was supposed to be on trial for terrorism charges. You get me? Abu Qasim. I can't remember what his real name is. Man said, "Low, yeah, too much gossip at Speaker's Corner and hangouts. Less clash of ideas, more clash of personal entities. True stories. Man trying to keep away from all of that. That's all dumb shit, fam. Man want to hear ideas being discussed, man. But each to their own, innit? Everyone's got their own lane, you get me? But yeah, that man came down and said, rah, we see my man in the paper on terrorism charges, and he's in the park just filming everyone like it's normal, you get me? And no one ain't saying nothing. So I'll go on, you get me? So they've run up on me on a thing of boom. Let me use your camera and talk the things, you get me? I said I say nothing. Like true stories. Even before that, man's been trying to stay away from all of the personals, innit? Like if anybody wanna address somebody personally, I've been trying to stay away from that, you get me? But I said, I'm gonna phase out the thing. In the meantime though, I'm gonna let it run, but I'm just gonna pull it on the side channel, innit? I ain't gonna put it on the main channel no more. I just want the main channel to be about just organic as I can, you get me? Just capturing Speaker's Corner in this true ethos, you get me? As it's been going for how long? So I put them man talking their thing against Abu Qasim on the side channel. And you can see that video. I might all play that as well after still. So man's played that now. And next week came round. Paul and them man are saying, rah, everyone's banned. Bear man are banned from the park. You ain't going to see them again. I said, alright, cool. If that's what it is, then that's what it is, you get me? I didn't think nothing of it, fam. I don't care two ways either. I ain't got no dog in the fight, as they would say. It is what it is, you get me? So man's come, next week has come now, and I see my man come in the park, and he's run up on me, he's like, rah, that video what you put out the other day, pure slander. Them man are slandering me, you get me? Pure slander. So, I don't, like, if you don't mind, I want to make a video addressing all of the slander, you get me? I said, how you mean, fam? I said, everybody deserves a right to defend themselves if they're being talked against, you get me? So I'm going to afford you the right to talk on the platform. And this is, as you see, it's on Top Striker, you get me? Because it's the same thing. It's of a personal nature, but at the same time, like, it's a grey area with this one. Because if the charges are real, then it's not personal, innit? It's like public record. And it's of Speaker's Corner goers. It's of their interests. It's for the safety of people in Speaker's Corner if man's on terrorism charges. And man has to go actually into the terrorism charges, you know, because you see all these trigger words, terrorism, racism, all of these words got connotations that 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 automatically envision the worst type of level of extreme threat that comes to your mind. But when man actually get down to the each individual case, it might not be as serious as man's making it out to be, as you automatically assume when you hear these trigger words. You get me? So this is where we at now. So I said, "That cool. You do your thing, and yeah, if you're innocent, you clear your name. You get me?" So he's coming down his thing, and as it's going, obviously people's jumped in. I'm asking him a few questions to get clarity, and yeah, this what you're about to air now. Let's run the track. And the titles of this one's called "Fake News" and "Black Power Porn." The reason that's called "Black Power Porn" because obviously man like Rajiv jumped in to try keep the nuance thing, try keep the balance. You get me? Obviously, man's been accused. Abu Qasim's been accused of serious charges. You get me? And if man's innocent, then you know certain from your name gets tarnished with certain type of serious accusations. You're reputed like you're done out here, whether you're innocent or guilty. You get me? You can't walk on the road no more, cause everybody's gonna assume the worst of you, even if you're innocent. So a black hat guys jumped in, and it's the same thing what I'm on. I give a man a chance to clear his name. You get me? Man's being tarnished, man. Like you wouldn't like it if it was you. It's not fair. You get me? Man's supposed to be afforded the opportunity to defend himself if his name's being tarnished unjustly. You get me? I will want the same for myself, and I bet everybody will want the same for themselves. So this what happened. Run the track.
He slandered me because last week I didn't attend, right? He slandered me.
Man said they slandered him last
When
week.
you ready? Ready?
Taking this.
Gone? Gone, yeah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh for Muslim brothers and sisters who come in Speaker's Corner and also guests, the non-Muslims in the Speaker's Corner. Basically, last week I did not attend Speaker's Corner. Fortunately, I went to a wedding. Paul and other guys that came, Paperboy, made a video against me. XY, because they saw a fake news, Daily Mail online. So I'm here. Last week, he said I was banned from Speaker's Corner. Look, I'm here with my camera. Right? So basically, I'm not banned. That's a fake news. So I am not banned. So today, I came to clarification. Those are lies. And they hate against Islam. They are Islamophobes. So it's made very clear today.
I said the
I'll be
Islamophobes.
till sunset. Time I will be there.
Yeah.
So basically, look, this is fake news. So don't read from magazines or whatever, Sky News, whatever, fake news. So those are lies. So today, Paul and what's his name, Paperboy, and what other guy's name? Steve, exposed. They always be exposed because they are the hate.
Hey yo, hey, I was catching joke in the background. You see when I'm in Speaker's Corner, sometimes I catch bare joke, but true, I ain't trying to influence it too much. Ain't trying to influence what man's capturing too much. I just want man to do their thing. I have to hold it in. You get me? But man was like, them man exposed. Like he was envisioning the title. True, he's got a channel himself. He was thinking what he's gonna call the thing. You get me? If it was his channel, I don't think you've ever seen an exposed on any of my videos yet, because I'm not trying to influence how you should think about what you're watching. You get me? I want you to come to your own conclusion, as if you was there yourself in the audience that's watching it. So yeah, let me continue on.
Of Islam. And also, when I heard about the COE uploading the video, I made second day, after 2 days or the first day, I made the clarification video on my channel. Look at their lies. I said I will come, hopefully I will come this Sunday. And last 2 Sundays, look, I made it very clear. I got wedding invitation, I have to attend. Right? I can't leave wedding invitation to come here at Speaker's Corner. I have a life.
So what are you saying to the charges?
So basically, I have a life outside the Speaker's Corner.
So now I'm asking him questions, and boy, like, ain't gonna. The thing's crazy now. I'm presuming that he's innocent until proven guilty. You get me? So there's been charges put to him by Steve and all of them man there, and in the newspaper. So I'm like, rah, I want clarity myself, innit? If a man standing in front of me and chatting beer was, I want to know that man ain't chatting was, fam. So I'm asking him to get clarity and see how he addresses the questions. Now, apparently, this video has been used. I don't know, because I weren't there still. But man can come on a panel and tell me. This is the video that was being used to prove that he's a liar, innit? And my thing is, raw. If you know that you're guilty, or that you are going to court and you got these charges against you, it don't make no sense you coming on camera and saying that it's not the case. It's best you don't say nothing, fam. I don't know why man's coming to Speaker's Corner, fam. I'm gonna whoever's angry at me, fam, for filming him and putting it up, fam. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do for you, fam. I don't know what to do for you, man. Tell a man stop snitching on myself. Forget me. There we go.
Invite me for a wedding, I have to attend. I have to sacrifice because school and I go attend the wedding. Yeah, and last following week was raining, I decided not to come. So those people comes here and slanders, especially people like the cameraman or people active in Dawa. So we're here with a clarification that we're here to convey Islam to the non-Muslims, and we should have a decent debate between Islam and Christianity. It's very clear. So those lies, right? Those lies. Make sure you write down this video. Fake news. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
I was walking fast with the paper.
Ah,
right?
man, I went too far. Hey, man,
I
tried to put the thing.
So those people comes here and slanders.
Man said, make sure you title this video fake news. I had to put it fake news, you know, but I put a question mark after it. He never told me to put that part. I put fake news because, like I said, I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. He might be telling the truth. Because there's bare innocent man sitting in prison. You get me? Enough times in my life I've been accused of things what I know I didn't do. So, benefit of the doubt, he might be telling the truth, he might not be. I don't know nothing. I ain't gone to the court case. But I'm thinking, right, if man's really in court, then all man has to do is go to the court case when he's scheduled to next appear. And man will just see man there, innit? So what sense does it make to come in? Yo, it don't make no sense, fam, to come and lie when you know that you're done, innit? But yeah, 200 and odd people watching the stream. Peace to everybody that's watching. If you like what you're watching and you want to see similar videos of this nature and you want videos like this to be recommended to other people that share your taste, press the grey button that's shaped like a thumbs up that turns blue when you press it. They call it the like button. But Google tries science, man. I don't like how Google works still. Because if you like something, you just like it, innit? It don't mean that you have to press the button. So I'm going to call it press the algorithm promoter button if you want it to spread. You get me? It's beneficial for me because it makes more people log on to the channel when I upload videos and all of them things there. I swear it, God. But yeah, side note. I had to pause it real quick still because the way he talked about fake, the way he wanted me to title the video, taking this, it's hilarious.
Especially people like the cameraman or people active in Dawa. So we're here with a clarification that we're here to convey Islam to the non-Muslims, and we should have a decent debate between Islam and Christianity. It's very clear. So those lies, right? Those lies. Make sure you write down this video. Fake news.
That's actually called a video.
Fake news. Slander by Paul and Steve and Paperboy.
They also said that he was in court on charges.
Yeah, so what? I was passing by the Old Bailey, big deal. Someone took the picture. Maybe I'm famous.
Cycling lane.
Yeah?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Listen. So maybe I'm famous. COE. Maybe this guy.
Ah, yeah. So this, yo, I don't know what's the matter with man, fam. Yo, the way man, like, so I asked him, I don't know if you heard what I asked him still, but I said, yeah. So how's man saying that they seen you outside the court? Because I think Steve said that he see him outside the court, you get me? And he took his picture. But my man's just, his response to that was, I was just passing by the court. I was just walking by and he took my picture in it. Yo, I don't know what to, I had to laugh, you get me? I don't know what to do, fam. Man just have, he might be telling the truth. I have to give man benefit of the doubt. See, people, like, the thing with me, fam, people, like, are like, rah, I'm on the fence. I don't pick a side. I don't know where I stand. People don't know where I stand. I'm what you might call a hyper skeptic, innit? I like to question everything, fam. I don't like to conclude on anything. Even when it looks like it's 100% or 99% in one direction, like this might be the way, I still reserve a bit that if there's another possibility, I'm going to go down that path and see how far the rabbit hole goes, you get me? Because like I said, everything ain't always what it seems. Sometimes things appear to be one way and you invest so much assuming that the way they look is the way they are, and it turns out not to be the case, and then all of your investment is wasted. You get me? So I like to think that if I got the opportunity to consider, then I'm going to review every possible logical scenario, no matter how vague the chances may be that this is the truth. I'm going to at least look down there and pursue it logically to see which way is the path of least resistance. It's usually that's usually where the truth is. The one that when you question it the most, you get the least resistance. The answers are the simplest to fathom. You get me? So I'm a hyper skeptic, even though I don't like to give myself labels. So I always consider that it might be the other case than what it appears to be. You get me? Or people might call me a contrarian or something like that. I always pick the other side. But yeah, it's just that even though I think it may be one way, I'm not gonna say that 100% is that way. I need to find out. You get me? So that's like I asked him. Boom. How come people are saying that you're at the Old Bailey? What are you doing at the Old Bailey? Man said you're just walking past and taking pictures. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But yeah. Let's go.
Someone took the picture to make me famous. Thank you.
Oh, so you ain't got no charges against
Nah,
you?
nothing. I'm here, look. What charges? I'm always here. I'm always here for almost 2 years. You know me for 2 years.
Even the newspaper that they lying about, you said that you went to
Slander. Yes, I was passing by there. Someone took the picture, obviously.
passing by,
Yeah.
and someone took a
Look,
picture.
I was walking fast with the paper, right? You can see I was walking past, they took the picture, and the boom. And the name,
So there's actually no charges against you.
no. The name, Hamid, that's not me. That's not me. The name is not me. The picture.
Yo, my man's killing it, fam. I don't know what's the matter with man, fam. I Jordan, I chisel man nizzle. Man said I'm laughing at. Man said I'm bragging, you know. I don't know what's the matter with man, fam. This is what I'm saying, fam. It's like certain man don't. It seems like man don't want man to speak man's mind without remixing what man's doing. What's bragging is like I'm happy and I feel some type of responsibility, and I'm glad that this is the outcome. Fam, I don't want no innocent people to go prison, fam. You get me? I don't want no one to go prison and I've got something to do with that. At the same time, I definitely don't want no one to blow people up and I've got something to do with that. You get me? But it is what it is, fam. Man's telling a funny story, blood. I ain't supposed to laugh at that. Man ain't supposed to laugh at that. This is what I'm saying, fam. I'm on this true thing, fam. And Satawi said exactly. Tell that man, oh no, man. My skin ain't that thin, man. This is what I'm trying to do as well, man. I'm trying to encourage people to be critical thinkers, you know, blood. And don't be so sensitive. Because man are so sensitive, they want to censor everything, blood. And then man just can't talk. I don't want to live in a world like that. May the truth be known, you get me? Wherever it is, whoever it favors. My man's telling a funny story, fam. Man's gonna laugh, innit? It don't mean that I'm bragging. Fam, it's not a good look, blood. I played the Rap Snitcher song at the beginning of this. Because Rasta don't work with police. You get me? But Rasta don't work with police, but man snitch on themselves. If man snitch on themselves, then ain't nothing I can do, man. And let me continue running the thing. This shit's hilarious.
That is me, the picture. Right? The picture is me. That's physically me. But name is correct. The child is wrong. Fake news.
So what, can you sue the newspaper?
No, but because of the...
Right now, everybody who sees you that's read that article.
That's fine, because what happened is...
Some terrorist
No, because this is not...
That's what I'm saying. See, there's me. Can you air my line of questioning? There's me trying to give him advice on how we can clear his name, fam. I'm assuming that he's telling me the truth, you get me? Even though it's like, at the same time, I'm like, raw. How are all of these man coming and telling man that he's on charges and he's at the Old Bailey, and even the newspaper there is writing articles with his picture in it that he's on charges and rare. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I ain't even Muslim. I'm hearing that Muslims are supposed to make 100 excuses for their brothers or their sisters before they accuse them of what it appears to be the case. You get me? I got a similar thing still, but I do that with everybody. You get me? I question everything, fam. So I'm assuming I'm like, cool. Tell me what your side of the story is. Let me try logically follow it along and see if it makes sense. But it's just hilarious, fam. Now reflecting, it's hilarious. You get me? Because man said C.O.E is a Muslim appeaser, James O. It is what it is, fam. Man ain't trying to appease no one because they are Muslim. I'm just trying to tell people I'm a mind work in it. It don't matter who it is, fam. Man's being called bare things. Man's called a Muslim appeaser. Man's been called an Islamophobe. Bare things, innit? It is what it is still. But this is how my mind works still. Man just tries to understand how man's I try to follow along with man's logic and see if it makes sense in it. But reflecting, knowing that man's in the bin right now, and as I said, if man's innocent, then I hope that it can be pardoned and the tarnish be removed from his name. You get me? But if man's guilty, then he's guilty, innit? It is what it is. This is funny because man's telling me that, like, I don't know why, like I said, I never asked him to come on the camera, fam. He come and forced himself on the camera and started snitching on himself. But yeah, let's go. Man said, COE, you've been called Islamophobe. Laugh out loud. That was hilarious, fam. It is what it is still.
By newspapers, actual Daily Mail,
Communist army.
publish it. That's online.
Man are crazy, fam.
Obviously, I can't sue them because it's online published, right? You can't sue them.
Man said he can't sue. So he said he can't sue the newspaper for putting up slanderous information about him. I don't know how that works still, but me, if I see myself in a paper on some imagine that terrorism charges, and I'm a Muslim as well. You know, that's like, even if I weren't a Muslim, it would be less likely to be believed in it. True, Muslims are associated. They're not Muslims are. Terrorism is associated with Muslims. You get me? When man air terrorism, the first one come to man's mind is Muslim. That's what they show in the newspapers and news. So if I see myself in a paper, I'm a Muslim and I'm being accused of some terrorism charges, and I know I'm innocent, I'm going ham, fam. I'm making sure that man's thing gets reversed. You get me? Paper getting sued from out of business and all of them thing there. I'm gonna call the brothers and we're gonna go down and protest at least, fam. Ain't just gonna turn a blind eye. But I'm, like I said, but I'm going along with man's thing to see where it goes. You get me? Pause. No homo.
Daily Mail or the Sun, I could have, but it's not mentioned in Daily Mail or Sun.
Where are they getting this information?
I don't know, man. Fake news.
Your life could potentially be put at risk if people see you and think that this guy's a terrorist trying to blow us up.
Fake news.
What do you think about that?
Well, attack me. They can attack me if they want to, but I got safe defense.
Don't worry about these things.
No. I'm professional safe defense.
You don't worry for the Muslim brothers and sisters, however, we can be slandered in an equal way.
If they've been slandered, come and make a clarification video. I've made one quick clarification video the second day, and today will be official clarification by COE because COE record them.
As COE kind of like pointed out, a lot of people are not even...
No, COE knows me for 2 years. They know me for 2 years.
But I don't know. I didn't know. I thought that they was telling the truth.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know me in speaking school of what I do, right?
But you see...
Yo, that's what I'm saying. Man tried to associate me deep in the thing, you know, fam. Man said, "COE, you know me for 2 years." Yo, I don't know man outside the speaker's corner, fam. So, like I said, fam, I said I thought he was telling the truth, fam. I thought it was the truth, guy. The thing looked believable to me, you get me? But I'm willing to air man out if man saying that ain't the case. Yeah. Man try to line me up, you know. Hey, what's he say? What did Azateo say? He said, "Do you know him for 2 years?" At COE. Nah, that's what I'm saying, fam. He's talking about in the park, blood. And Santaweed. Man's talking about in the park, innit? Man's been going to Speaker's Corner for 2 years, innit? So he's saying in that sense. But like it don't make no sense. This one I'm thinking, man's logic is like it's a bit shaky, you get me? Because you see when you say something to someone, let me think. What's a good analogy? Cool. If you and somebody else is in a room and there's £5 on the floor and you're both facing away from the £5, we turn back around and the £5 ain't there no more. If you didn't pick it up, then you know the other person picked it up. So if he's telling me that I know him for 2 years, when me and him know that we only know each other in like hello and goodbye in Speaker's Corner. Well, go on. I see you all regular in Speaker's Corner. Peace. You go film what you're filming. I go film what I'm filming. We probably don't see each other for the rest of the day. We don't look for each other before we say bye. So for him saying that, I'm like, rah. I'm like, well, go on. I was like, all right, cool. you telling me that you know me for 2 years as if I'm a character witness for anything what they're saying outside of the park. I don't know you outside of the park, family. You get me? So yeah, that was a bit shaky then. I felt like my image in his sincerity was a bit shattered there, you get me? So yeah, we're gonna carry on. And then black tatted guy jumped in. Peace to black tatted guy. He jumped in to try hear him out as well and see if what he's saying might be true. Because here's the next thing as well. Sometimes when you're innocent and you appear guilty, you might not be able to articulate a good defense for yourself, even though you're innocent. So that's how come you get lawyers and all of these things as well, to represent you better than you can represent yourself, because they're gonna think of certain things to try to prove your innocence that you might not think as even are gonna be beneficial in your defense. You get me? So Rajiv jumped in. Let me try to help him out. Peace to W Bear. Apparently the other day you said peace to me. I didn't say nothing, card. I didn't see you still. I would never blank no one deliberately that I'm cool with, that always L's me up in the comment section, and I L them up back. Peace to everybody that L's me up. Ain't really watching the comment section too much, cause it's just flying by, you get me? But yeah, peace to W Bear, cause last time I heard that I didn't respond to you, and yeah, you was devastated, as anyone should be. If COE don't respond to them, you get me? You should be devastated. Just don't commit suicide. COE loves you all, you get me? But yeah, so my man jumped in. Rajiv jumped in and tried to see if he can make sense of what man's saying, you get me? Here we go.
Of course, you can slander anyway. But the point is now, if someone is slandered and doesn't make clarification, but I make clarification twice, that's the second video I'm making COE.
So I'm saying, are you going to continuously, if somebody says something against that you know is not true, are you just going to continuously come every week?
Of course I will come every week. And if I got a day off, I get a day off. No problem.
Democratic, being like allowing people like dangerous slander.
Yeah, they can slander. Let them slander. No problem. They can slander with them. But anyway, it's gone anyway. Anyway, so that is the stance that I'm giving down, the clarification of the video. And thank you for COE to make sure they publish it. And make sure you write the title, Fake News and Slanderers. Thank you very much. Take it. Let me just continue.
Yo, whoever gives me joke, you know. Hey, where's Uncle Omar as well, man? Come and jump on the panel, man. Hey, the COE allow making excuses for him. The guy is a terrorist, for fuck's sake. Keep asking. Yo, I'll do it for everyone, man. Could be anyone. It might be true, it might not be true. But man is supposed to question everything, you get me? Everybody deserves a fair say, and everybody deserves to be heard when they protest their innocence. You get me? And then after they've said their thing, we just weigh up all of the evidence and make a decision based upon, like, that's free of our emotions. That's what I'm saying, man. 'Cause our emotions influence how we come to conclusions, you get me? So even if it's someone that you don't like, it could be your worst enemy. I made a post earlier today saying that everyone deserves a fair say, even people that I don't like. Then I say especially people that I don't like. COE was found guilty. What you want about? Nah, but I'm saying that this, obviously man's going back in it. I'm saying this is in reflection to the moment. I'm explaining my mindset at the moment when I'm making this video, you get me? So, yeah. Just giving man an understanding still. And as I said, there's innocent people in prison as well. I went there at the case. I don't know I don't know exactly what the charges are against him. I'm hoping people who's got the knowledge jump on. I don't see no one jumping in the in the back chat yet, you know, fam. The link is in the description box. If you know about the case, then jump in and give your side of the story in a minute after I do some Q&As, you get me? But yeah, I'm saying there's innocent people that's in prison and they deserve to be heard, innit? There's appeals and all of these things. People get pardoned, exonerated all the time. I don't know the details of the case, so I'm just offering an alternative possibility to the scenario, you get me? That it may be a different way, you get me? It may not be, but What we can't consider. Man's supposed to consider, rude boy. Man said, is he charged? Yeah, my man's charged. Is Bob the Builder in the building? Peace to Bob the Builder. Yeah, Leon's channel has been hijacked by the feds. Yo, it's a public forum, rude boy. Police are in speaker's corner watching everything. You think police don't watch every channel? That's what I'm saying, man. If man are really dumb enough, I don't know what to do with, man. If man are really dumb enough to think that they can go on a channel that they know is going to be broadcast to the public on YouTube and at the same time not be aware that what they're saying is going to be could possibly be exposed to police, and they're saying something that they believe is incriminating. I don't know what to do with you, man. I don't know how you made it so far in life in the first place, you get me? I don't know how you made it so far in life still, but yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is still. As man gonna be making videos, imagine man are making videos that's going up to the public, and there's police in speaker's corner, and when police come, they just go silent and wait for the police to drive off and then continue speaking. You know how dumb man would have to be, fam. But yeah, man said burn Leon. Is that the real Bob the Builder? Man could never say burn Leon, fam. You idiot. Come on, Veli Vision. Veli Vision was doing the numbers today as well, rude boy. Even though it was a passer thing, I've been rating how man's morning conversations have been going still. Peace to my brother Veli Vision. We taking over this thing, rude boy. It runs in a family, you get me? I like how man was taking over the thing still. Man's dispelling all the pseudo. Well, let me not say, because that's my bias now still. Man was questioning all of the apparently pseudo claims made about various different religions and everything gets put under a microscope, fam. Nothing ain't above questioning, you get me? We're supposed to know what we're doing and why we're doing it. If we got the ability to research and verify, you get me? Why not do that? You get me? But yeah, I've been talking for too long. I'm going to continue playing the video and see if we see anything else more outstanding. In a moment, I'm going to just check that. I'm going to check the comments and see if any fake accounts, because I don't deal with fake accounts still.
Speaker's corner. Alright, thank you.
No fake accounts in the thing.
Alright, thank you very
It's
much.
all lies, is it, little man? Is it all lies, is it? You're not at the old place.
Ah, shit, Steve jumped to the building.
The 28th of September 2018, the day of your pre-hearing case.
This is Bob the Builder. Mad thing. Hey, Bob the Builder, you crazy.
Lied as I caught you.
Rasta don't work with police, though.
28th of September 2018. But it's all lies.
I do
Is it all
understand.
lies? Was it your twin?
I do
Was it your twin?
I do understand you
Was
hate
it
me
your-
so much.
was it your
but
twin?
I don't hate you.
So why?
I don't hate you. I don't hate you.
Was it your twin?
Was
it your twin?
I
Do you
don't
have a
hate-
twin brother that looks identical to you?
No, listen, I don't hate you.
Do you have an identical twin?
I don't hate you.
Where's the
Thank you
carpet?
very much.
Don't we need a carpet?
Thank you very much. I don't hate you. I don't hate no one.
You're running
I
away.
finished. I finished.
Are you finished? Have you?
Thank you.
That was
Point is now.
That was quick.
Listen.
concrete evidence at all?
No, nothing.
Apart from the Daily Mail article.
Yo, this is what I'm saying, fam. Sometimes when I'm quote unquote playing the devil's advocate, sometimes I know how silly man sounds, you know. I want people to be aware of this. I understand that not everybody understands exactly what I'm doing, and they assume that I really believe that it's the case, like what I'm presenting as a possible option. They really believe that I assume that this is what it actually is, and I'm disregarding all of the other evidence that's pointing into the other direction. I'm aware of that, but I'm not sure if you're aware that I'm aware of that. So I'm trying to make people clear of how man's mind works, fam. Man has to question everything. That means every idea that you think is 100% certain that way, man have to question it, fam. Sometimes everything ain't always where it seems. I'm repeating myself still. But what was I gonna do now? Critical thinking, ContentCOE watch. Critical thinking, man. Man have to admit when man's wrong as well, you get me? Go Live Media, man say, may Allah protect him, amen. It's like our Jamaicans say, we say, amen. James SC, was it your twin? This is what I'm saying. Because Steve now, apparently he's the one who's walked past and took his picture, you get me? So if he's taking a man's picture and he's just heard a man say that he was just walking past and some random person took his picture. He's a, yo, I don't like. I couldn't have held a straight face neither, fam. I would have been dying. Advocacy, if he knows that he's going court and he's just lying in man's face on camera, what could be used against him, which apparently did get used against him, to show that is, oh yeah, that's what Bob the Builder asked. How do you know it was used in court? Someone told, a few people have come up to man and told man in the park that yeah, that video there got used by the prosecution to prove how much of a liar man is. Like he's not credible. His character ain't good. That's what I'm saying, fam. I don't know why you're gonna do it to yourself. Apparently, like he said at the beginning of this video that he made a clarification video on his own channel as well already before this. But obviously, he didn't get as many views because people ain't too aware of his channel. You get me? And the original video against him was made on my channel, innit? So he said, yeah, let me come and address your channel so your audience can see it. So yeah, I don't know why you're gonna do it to yourself, fam. It's best man say no comment. I plead the fifth. You get me? Like in America. But yeah.
Court records. The court records.
Yeah, God.
There's a conspiracy.
COE, take it, Islam.
You support it? Are you supporting it? Are you supporting it? Well, look at the court records.
And my man cut out as well, real quick still. I told him to stay. I think I went off the camera as well and told him to come back and talk the things and defend yourself. Cause I really trust me, fam. I know it's Speaker's Corner. I try not to get involved too much. But I don't like when man chat man, but Iron Man's back. And man ain't there to refute man and defend man's character and all of them things there, you get me? As I said, fam, even now I feel dirt. I feel like dirt. Chatting man when man ain't air, you get me? But it's public record. You get me? It's of public interest. Terrorism charges is some serious thing. You get me? Man's already, I'm mixed up in the thing, you get me? I'm involved still, sir. Man, I have to open my mouth and talk, you get me? But yeah, differently, just on a side note, in regards to that as well, chatting people behind their back. Some people, let me say one man's come up to man before in a park and started whispering behind the camera to me about his problems with other people or the bad things he thinks of other people. I had to tell a man, pause, fam. I said, yo, go and tell him to his face. What are you telling me for? Cause that's me personally. I think that's a pussy move. And now I'm wondering if you view me as a pussy as you must view yourself. Like when you look in the mirror and feel like, yeah, I'm somebody I'm safe to go to, because I'm also not gonna go and say something to the person's face if that's how I feel. Like I'm gonna have some gossip meeting. Fam, that's not me, fam. You go and tell a man to himself. Otherwise, you're a punani. Don't tell me. Don't consider me the same as you. Consider me as the person you're talking against. I'm more like that person. You get me? I'd rather you come and chat to my face rather than go around the side and start whispering, susuing pom man. You get me? Yeah, that happened in real life as well back in the day still. A man's come and whisper to me like I'm the one to come and gossip to. Like with some big girls or something. We're having a girls meeting. And we're just chatting people. Ain't the one, fam. Don't bring that to me, man. Can't say it to his face, man. If anyone, for future reference, if anyone feels like they want to come and whisper about people and they feel like I'm the one to do it with, know that I'm likely to call you a panani. A big wet panani. Pardon me for all of the anyone who's offended by that, who take offense. You get me? You don't want to air them type of vulgar expressions there, but it is what it is, you get me? But yeah, let me continue on. This is hilarious. Let me see you in the back room, because we're gonna start taking questions soon. People can start coming on because we wanna address the state of Speaker's Corner in general. Man was in the Twitter feed warring with a few of the Speaker's Corner regulars. Well, one of them still. One of them said that I'm responsible for things like this because I'm giving man a platform, you get me? They wasn't aware that apparently one of my videos got used. But they're like, the London Bridge attack, what happened the other day, people like me are responsible because man's helping spread the message and all of these things. So man was behind the scenes warring, you get me, sir? We want to talk about what Speaker's Corner has become. A man in the comments during that little war on Twitter, our man said that I started to get silly, you get me? It started to turn into bare name calling and character assassinations, and we just varied from, let me not say we, car I never joined in the name calling. I just pointed out that man are name calling in it, rather than addressing the issues. Man usually do that when they feel like they can't argue no more, based on logic and reason. They start to divert attention away from the argument and start to focus on insignificant things to try and make the person who's arguing seem uncredible. You get me? Discredible. Try to discredit man's character as a means of minimizing the impact of man's argument. Man's argument's solid. You get me? They can't argue against it. But a man in the comments said, this is what Speaker's Corner has become. That's how I titled the video with this as well. COE platform and Speaker's Corner. Because that Speaker's Corner has become a place where people come and insult people and discuss people's personalities and intimidate people and fight. That's me, I ain't got no interest in that personally. That's dead, fam. Tell a lie, I got a little bit of interest in that. Cause it's funny from time to time still, but when that becomes the norm, it's like it's dead now, isn't it? The intellects, man said that the intellectuals and the adults who come there to reason and debate ideas, Speaker's Corner was once a bastion of free speech. It was once a British fucking institution to be proud of, and now it's some joke place where people come and insult people and say your mother's this and your father's this and your prophet's that, and rare bare low level type of fucking dunce breed. That's what it is now, you get me? So I want to bring people on to see how we can raise the bar, you get me? And make intelligence run the place again, you get me? Because that's what I want to see still. I want to learn new information in Speaker's Corner, man. I don't just want to see a bunch of dunce breeds just insulting each other and fighting each other. You get me? That's definitely not what I go there for still, but for the observation of human psychology and behaviour, sometimes I got to capture that shit because it's happening. I'm not going to ignore it at the same time. But yeah, happy days. There's 238 people in the building. Fire. Hit the like button. True stories. Press the algorithm booster button. That's what it is still. Because if you like something, you're going to... Google will tell you what you like, you know. Google will tell you what you like by how much time you spend watching the thing. Or what you're interested in, you get me? But that button there just makes people that share similar taste be aware of the video, innit? So yeah, let me continue on. A man's getting ready to bring people on still, so if you're ready, man said Speaker's Corner UK, I big up Speaker's Corner UK. I want you to jump on as well, you know. The link is in the description. I'm going to open up the panel soon. The link's in the description. I want you to jump on. Takia Watch. Let's save this for tomorrow. What are you man talking about? James SC. You man can jump on if you want still. Are you on board for doing a live stream tomorrow with an open panel? Bob the Builder. All of the speakers, Bob the Builder, I want you to jump on as well. I want it to be a variety of people, you get me? I don't want it to be just the Islamophobes. The quote-unquote Islamophobes. The people that are identified and labelled as that. You get me? I want everyone to jump on. I want a variety of opinion. And we can discuss the issue at hand. And we can discuss the future of Speaker's Corner, what it is now, and how to direct it back in a place where the intellectuals reign supreme, you get me? We might have to actually commission a bunch of tough guys that just really live for the tough guy life to come and thump up all of the people that are trying to turn Speaker's Corner into some joke place, you get me? I could just want to come down and fight and threaten people. You get me? We might have to do that still. But yeah. James SC says their message doesn't get spread through COE. Their message gets spread through Telegram and Twitter and other channels. COE shines a light on them to the rest of society. It says you offer platform without being biased. It's the government that decides who is free to speak or not. True stories. Come on. That's what I'm talking about, man. Haha, what happened to free speech? Content over everything. Yeah, I'm not a free speech absolutist, you know. I'm definitely not an absolutist still. I come to realise that still. Cause it's not everything that man's going to allow. Incitement to violence, people deliberately releasing people's private information, all of them things there. Yeah, all of them things there will get struck down. You get me? When I say this free speech thing, as I said, man, I feel like man need a different word to describe it. Still, when I say free speech, I'm talking about the ability to question any idea. You get me? And to discuss it. You get me? Without the conversations being shut down because man are offended for whatever reason. You get me? As long as it's nothing that's inciting violence, causing no harm to come to nobody, then why we can't talk about it, man? Let's talk about it. Anything's up for discussion, man. People's come on my platform before and talked against me a bag of times still, so it's not personal. You get me? Answer Tawi said it's not professional COE. I've gone back in the comments still to scroll back, so I don't even know what everyone's referring to right now still. But let me go back. As I said, the links in the description for people who want to come on and have their say. Probably gonna open it up soon. I'm just gonna run a bit more. I'm gonna run a bit more and we see how it goes still. Happy Day said he obviously went Speaker's Corner because he wanted the jury to see him on YouTube. He would have caused a retrial. Obviously, why he kept going to Speaker's Corner. He's saying he's a smart guy still. It might be that still. It might be that. Who knows? Speak, boy, speak. Man, a man, you know, phobia of Islam is as real as Santa Claus. Phobia. You know what phobia is? An irrational fear. One-sided COE. Says Greek N. That's a brother who calls me a Muslim apologist. Just popped on now. Don't think I can make the panel, which is a shame. Big up Speaker's Corner UK, man. That's what I'm saying. Man, you need to come back to the corner as well, man. Tell Skydive Phil to come through as well. You get me? Bob the Builder said COE is second best channel at Speaker's Corner. It's the best, fam. I can post links now. Michael, what are you talking about? Big up Shay, that's my white baby mother. Even though I ain't breeded her yet. I'll catch the rest later. Big up COE in the chat. Peace. That's a joke, by the way. It's because COE's penis is racist. Strictly black. She's gonna have to paint herself black. Then we have a you get me? Cause me love black gal, and me love black gal, a gal wear black like Aliyah. Alright, let me run a video.
Would you like me to bring it up?
Yes, please, Steve.
It's all in the public domain. It's all in the public domain. I'm curious why you're sticking up. I'm curious why you're sticking up for it. Why are you sticking up for it?
Is it sticking up or is it
Why? Why? Why?
Say that again?
Why?
I'm asking.
Why? So why? And why are you leaning to the left? Or to the right, sorry. So make sure the microphone picks
None of
you
this
up.
is productive to the actual conversation.
No, because it's bothering. Is your ban finished this week? This is your first return after your ban for violence. Is this your first return after the ban for your
So you
violence?
have no answers. So you have no
I have lots of answers. You were banned from here for violence. Hopefully he will be banned very soon.
But he's not, is he?
That's curious, isn't it? That's curious, isn't it? That's curious. Why you can be at
Eliza.
the Old Bailey on charges of spreading hate and terrorism, yet you're still allowed to come to Speaker's Corner. That is curious.
That's a good question, Steve.
Isn't that curious? You can be on charges at the Old Bailey for spreading hate and terrorism, Sheikh Faisal lectures, for example, yet he's allowed... Well,
According to him, he wasn't.
according to who?
According to him, he wasn't.
And you believe that, do
No, I'm asking you to provide the evidence.
Okay,
Well,
give me a second and I will.
the trial of the Old Bailey, the entire national newspapers.
No,
We have an
no, no.
apologist here.
Hello, Ralph.
Hello, welcome back.
You're looking as overweight as usual.
Oh, I do.
He's looking
I live on
overweight.
foie gras. What can I say? Good night.
Who am I looking if he's looking overweight?
Oh, you don't know. You don't want to know what I think.
But Steve, I think you're going to produce some basic evidence that anyone following the news should have known. Is that right? Steve?
Exactly. It's all in the public domain. There's nothing hidden.
Good man, Steve, live on TR
You can
News.
go to the central court or any court in this country, and unless it's a case that's under privacy, it's all there, and including his case.
I'm just asking you to provide the evidence.
Why can't you look for it yourself? But I will find it. And then what's your next question going to be? What's your next question going to be?
Why is he refusing the evidence? Why is he denying
Well,
it?
because you,
Basically, that's the thing, you know, fam. Let me see who's in the chat. Afgan and K. I'm gonna bring you in a sec still. Basically, that's the thing still, car. Yeah. Apparently, that video there was used as evidence against my man's character for demonstrating that he's a liar. You get me? His word can't be trusted. So I didn't think I needed. Like, somebody suggested in the comments that he done that because he wanted to get the trial dashed out through his scene on YouTube discussing the case. You get me? That might have been a strategy. If it was, then a good try. But otherwise, I didn't think I would need to make this a disclaimer. But this is what I'm saying, fam. Car, if man really is trying to cause harm to come to innocent people, and how you want to discuss, how you want to identify or define innocent in the context of terrorism, because I've heard the argument said that I'm going to put you on the panel. Keep your mic on mute for the moment. Keep your mic on mute for the moment, please. Put you on the panel. Hello. Keep your mic on mute. Yeah. Everyone mute up. Everyone mute up. But yeah, how you want to define innocent in the context of terrorism? Because I've heard the argument before that because the British pay taxes and taxes go to fund the armed forces that go overseas and drop fire on Muslim women, children indiscriminately, then man's indirectly guilty, innit? Man shares a burden of guilt. So however you want to define innocent, if they don't qualify as innocent, if the taxpayers don't qualify because they're funding the people that's dropping fire on innocent Muslims. My thing is, I don't want to see no harm come to innocent people. Muslims over there getting the fire dropped on them. I don't want that to happen. And I don't want the people them who are paying taxes that go to fund the army indirectly. I don't know if man's directly sending money to the army saying, yeah, go and drop fire on these people. You get me? I doubt that that's the case still. Because there's probably Muslims over here who pay taxes that are against it going to the army, you get me? But they have to obey the law and them thing there, and they want to find other ways of how to prevent the bombs being dropped on their peoples, you get me? So, if man's going to come on man's platform and you want to incite people to commit harm to taxpayers or innocent or whatever you want to label them as, then I'm not really trying to give you advice on how you should go about doing that without getting caught. You get me? At the same time, as I said, COE's got a no snitching policy, so ain't trying to snitch on no one, but ain't trying to protect no one that's trying to harm innocent people neither. I didn't think I would need to tell, man. It's supposed to be obvious. If you're gonna do crime, you ain't supposed to talk about it in public, innit? If you do, then it's on your ass, fam. Ain't nothing I can do for you. But don't harm innocent people. Is the overall message I want to give out there. That being said, we've got people on the panel now. We're gonna open up and let people them have their say what they think about this case. If anyone's got any information about this case, specifically, open up your mic and say something. If you just want to give your take on this situation and Speaker's Corner in general, then jump in. Okay, you need to mute your YouTube still. Yeah. No, you can open your mic still and say something still about your YouTube. You need to turn off your YouTube so it don't echo. But yeah, you can jump in still.
Do you know what? For the minute, I can't hear you from this page, only from YouTube. So I'm just going to open it up on my computer.
Oh, my bad. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Go on, Key.
I was just listening to what you've been saying, and what I've been thinking since this whole kind of thing came about is that, like, if you're just walking down the street, like a public place, and you happen to be filming something else, and you just see someone getting stabbed and you can't reach him in time, but you decide to carry on filming, you're not endorsing the stabbing. You're not. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're not promoting anything. You're just there as a bystander. So to give an unbiased platform to something is exactly what it is. It's unbiased. Nobody accuses TV networks of, you know, promoting or endorsing when they're just filming something. So
Yeah.
that's my kind of thoughts on it.
All right. I respect for that still.
No
Yeah.
worries.
So, James, what you say? You want to say something on this situation?
Yeah, I think you're doing a great job
Come
on
on.
all of your filming, and to address kind of the kind of idea that you're giving a platform or promoting, like the thing is that the kinds of people who sort of listen to kind of terrorist materials to sort of get involved in it with an idea of I'm gonna sort of learn more and kind of maybe think about becoming a terrorist, they're not gonna sort of hear about it from you. They're gonna, find out about ISIS material through, the ISIS sort of ways of distributing their material. So all that you're doing is you're showing these people for what they are to the rest of society, so that the rest of society kind of knows what kind of threatening ideologies are kind of brewing. So that's definitely a good thing in my book.
Yeah, like, oh no, it's like this exposing people to dangerous ideologies thing. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, man ain't gonna explicitly say that they want to cause harm to people in it. Obviously, then man wouldn't put that in it. But it's like how I've considered it is that when we identify patterns of like all of these attacks and we see what they share in common, if it is that there's a specific ideology that they all share in common, then we should analyze the ideology and see everybody who claims to be inspired or seems to be influenced by this or takes from it, and see the outcome. If we got like a handful of people that's committing atrocities in the name of this ideology, and then we got like a vast majority of different set of people that are using it as their daily what can I say, like their way of life. Because people could make the same case about just Islam in general or Christianity if anybody does anything in the name of Christianity. So how should man block any religious book because a handful of people have carried out some type of fuckery in the name of it? You get me? Like, if it's not explicitly stated that you should do that.
Sorry, Lee. I think the thing is, it's a little bit nowadays. It's getting a bit like the Emperor's New Clothes. Like, some things are just so blatantly obvious, but no one really feels to call them out. And I'm not saying anyone who follows that certain ideology is going to come and do those things, but I am saying that it seems like a certain guy who's associated with the park before and who's been arrested and stuff like that. Like, certain people who disseminate that religion, people around them tend to either go on to commit atrocities or go to jail and radicalise other people, almost as if it's like in some sort of plan. So I would say, like, whilst I can definitely see there's like the vast majority of peaceful Muslims who don't condone this, who don't support it, there's people who pervert anything for their own, like, and they do believe they're following it. Those people that go to the London Bridge, and the last London Bridge, they do believe they're genuinely following the thing that they should be doing. They don't see that they're doing anything wrong in that respect, but it's a tough call because you can't just start saying anyone who believes in that stuff, because, like you say, any religion can be used and twisted, and but there are violent verses in there, and to deny that would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm hearing the volumes low for the panel members. Like, I don't know what I go on with the volume today, man. Like, the external volume ain't working good still, so I just got to put the mic close to the speaker. So everybody got to bear with me until I can fix it, man. But I don't know. I tried everything still. But yeah.
No worries.
Alright, cool, man. Anyone else wanna?
Okay, Leon, how you doing, man?
With that Raj? Oh, go on.
Yeah. Alright, check that guy out. I'm gonna say. Suck him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Leon, yeah, I knew about this around a week and a half ago, obviously, and I had to really keep my mouth shut because I knew this would really kind of like upset a few people. That this video was played in court. That's 100%.
How'd you know?
The
How'd you
reason
know?
why it was played, I don't want to say you have, but it was 100%. It was played in court. I knew it. I found out about it a week and a half ago, and that's when it was played because what the problem was is that Abu Qasim, is a pathological liar. And this video was concrete evidence of how much of a pathological liar he was. And you didn't set this up. The guy come into Speaker's Corner with his own free will and asked you to film. Now, all you're doing, and before everyone says, oh, Leon is giving platforms to extremists, like, at the end of the day, when I'm in Speaker's Corner, I get a chance to speak on your channel. Other people have a chance to speak. You don't like, can I say, one person can't and one person can, because then you're going to have a situation where no one's going to be on your channel because somebody's always going to dislike one of the people on your channel. So, yeah, I think you're doing a good job and you've highlighted this situation. And big up to yourself for getting someone in jail. Big up. C.O.E.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
I'm not trolling. I'm joking. I'm trolling. I'm trying to be serious, man.
Are you crazy? So you could.
That,
Yeah, go on.
that's the thing, guys. If you don't give a platform to these people, how are you going to know their thought processes?
Precisely.
If you're gonna silence them, then they're gonna become like those fantasy ghost armies that are underground, which would make things more complicated and more dangerous. So it's actually, you did a good job by allowing the man to basically expose himself. You're just a man with a camera.
I will say something, Leon. Omar is also being prosecuted for something he said. I'm not going to say too much, but he's also under the spotlight as well.
What is it? Hey,
Yeah,
Uncle Omar, if you're listening, jump on the panel, man.
I can't say too much because I can't say too much, but I've been confirmed that he's been prosecuted. So you remember?
Well, I don't know, because like I said, before I even made this video here that's playing in the background, the man them was saying that everyone's banned. If this guy's banned, that guy's banned, and the guy who Abu Qasim, he was banned, and the man showed up next week talking about what you talking about. Man ain't banned.
No. This is. I don't say nothing unless I get it from 100% concrete sources.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say because I'm not going to get myself in a stupid situation. But he's definitely being prosecuted for something that he said at Speaker's Corner. So yeah, I've only got one more person.
Where is it? I think I know what it is. Where is it? When it was saying that the homosexual thing, was it the anti-homosexual thing?
I'm not going into details because it's not my place to say.
Right.
But I would just say that, I a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, I did that video when I called out 3 people. One of them was Abu Qasim. He's gone. Omar, I called out. He's gone. And the last one is going to be Adnan Rashid. So watch this space, everybody.
Can I just say, I've always
not legally, though. Not legally.
Don't get on his nerves is the bottom line, people.
Hey, yo, Isa, is that you on the panel? Isa, open your mic and say something, fam.
Thank God he's quiet for once.
It's not him, then, clearly.
It's not him, it's somebody else.
What are you saying? Trying to sabotage your thing?
Could I make a point?
Yeah, go on. I hold up, before you make your point, I want some Muslims to jump on the panel, because I definitely don't want it to seem like it's some anti-Islam thing. I want man to come on and I want to hear a diverse set of opinions. Say again?
Can I just say something? Now, the thing is that... can I just say something? Can I say something?
You're gone.
Yeah, let me just say something. Big up to Shamsi for calling this guy out.
Yeah.
Big up to Paul Williams for calling him out, because those guys, if it wasn't for them, the Muslim community at Speaker's Corner would be in a real pickle. And luckily, those guys went on camera and called these guys out, because Adnan Rashid, Mansour, Hashim, Ali Dawa, OSCC Dawa, we told them about him. We gave them so much information and concrete evidence, and they still did nothing and allowed the guy to walk about Speaker's Corner, filming, being pally with them. And it's only now that it's gone to the Old Bailey that Adnan Rashid is shitting himself, but it's too late now. Yeah, you can't
you can't take back all the, because if you look at the video, I don't know if you want to play it because it's one of Steve's one. When Steve went up to Adnan Rashid 3 months ago and said this guy's with Anjem Chowdhury and supports terrorism, Adnan Rashid's response was, well, you support Tommy Robinson, he supports Anjem Chowdhury, you're the same. That's all he said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
What
is,
does that mean?
It was a little too late, because there was the thing with Adnan and Mansour a little bit, and Hashim and that big Sheikh guy saying, we don't know you, we're free from you, and all of that kind of stuff. But then somebody sent me a clip of Abu Qasim doing an just off the corner, doing a just straight to camera, denying that he had anything to do with any connected to any Dawa team. And yet Adnan's voice is in the background.
Yeah, that was done after we confronted them. And the problem with Adnan Rashid and the Dawa, those particular group of Dawa, not all of them, is that they were only concerned about their reputation and not about security. And this is a problem with Adnan Rashid. He never cared about the security of the UK or anything apart from his own reputation. And that was shown.
Yeah,
that was shown when he came on Sunday. That's all he cared about. He kept on going about his reputation, the Dawa team's reputation. He didn't ever say, well, okay, this guy's a dangerous individual who has been kind of like propagating. Do you know one of the charges against him that he got convicted of was that he was distributing literature which told how to make bombs. Think about it, bombs, yeah.
But Raj, obviously to play the advocate. How do you know what Adnan is aware of? Because even me.
We know that he lied when he said, I don't know you, brother. We've seen you here, but we just don't know you, because he made a video with him.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be going through all my videos, because what people don't realise that this Abu Qasim has been with Adnan Rashid and that crew for around 2 years straight. I've seen him in my own eyes. I've got him in old videos that I have to go through, but I didn't know who he was until 6 months ago or 4 or 5 months ago. So they were very close, always pally. I know for a fact they used to go to meals and stuff. I just wish I had a video recording. And the point is, they're trying to say they don't know him. And they do know him very well.
But wait, cool. Hey, Raj, cool. When you say they know him or they don't know him, do you believe that they know that he was running this website that was sending money to some banned terrorists?
Sheikh Faisal.
Yeah. Do you believe?
Yes, of course, because
no.
Let me say.
Don't incriminate yourself in any way in that way, Raj. But what I will say is that whether they knew or they didn't, they associated with this individual for more than 2 years. They absolutely knew him, and it has been recorded that Adnan Rashid has been following and supporting Anjem Chowdhury. He is associated with every person that has been convicted of some sort of terrorist activity. So to say that Adnan Rashid is this totally naive, innocent man who has no idea about all these terrorists that he just happens to find himself around is totally naive. To think that he is just this stumbling fool who just happens to keep standing next to people who get convicted of terrorist charges. These people know what they're doing.
Can I just elaborate a bit more? So, all right, let's take the court case out of this. Let's just take the court case out of it, because that's a separate, more serious issue where he was connected to Sheikh Faisal. Now, for anyone that knows who Sheikh Faisal is, he was a Jamaican. Sorry, Leon, he was Jamaican. He was a Jamaican convert who was deported a couple of years ago because he was doing literature which was that inspired ISIS and attacks and stuff like that. And he was jailed for 8 years. And Adnan Rashid is on recording, and we've got the voice recognition done on it with a lot of money, that it was him supporting Adnan Rashid, Sheikh Faisal in 2003. And the importance to this case is that the literature that this individual was promoting was Sheikh Faisal again. So we have two links to Sheikh Faisal. And the thing is, I will say this. I'm going to say, look, whatever I'm going to say next, I've said to Adnan Rashid's face, and that is this. I went up to him and I told him everything about, what's his name, Abu Qasim, about in the sense of I didn't know the court case, but I was telling him about his links to Anjem Chowdhury, that he had audio of him saying that if you don't support ISIS or Baghdadi, you're a Jew, and all of this kind of stuff. And the thing is, he just didn't give a shit. This is the biggest problem. He didn't give a shit, and he just his own ego got the better of him, or maybe he agrees with his views. I don't know. I'm not going to say which one it is. And he allowed that individual to then walk around Speaker's Corner unchallenged. The only people that really looked into Abu Qasim was Shamsi. Why could Shamsi find out the information about him, but Adnan Rashid couldn't? You need to ask that.
What did Shamsi say? What did Shamsi say about him?
Yeah, he went up to him straight and said, look, your associates, we got evidence of you got associates with these people, and you are X, Y, Z, and you're doing this. Can I just say one thing to somebody in the comment? Sue me, Land of Celts. I want you to. Because if you sue me, I will take that recording to court, and I will prove it's Adnan Rashid. Go down this route, you're going to make my day.
Hey, Raj, stay on track, man. Don't get drawn out by everyone.
Yeah, but what it is, the reason why I'm saying this, because a lot of these guys on the channels, I won't say their name, tried to derail the case by calling up the court and saying that I was doing a contempt of court, which I wasn't. And I think it's actually worked against them, because some of them sent videos. I know for a fact they sent videos of the Speaker's Corner to show that I and Steve was interfering with the case. But I think it might have backfired, and maybe they sent the COE video as well. And maybe that's how it was used in court. But instead of for him, it was used against him. So big up to the Muslims who...
John, I never sent the video nowhere, you know. It's a public record, though. Let that be known. Don't stop self-snitching. Stop self-snitching. I know.
What I'm trying to say is there's people...
Now, I urge you still. I get you. I'll just clarify.
They sent videos to the court, saying that me and Steve were derailing the case. I think it could have been this video. So they sent it maybe, and that video was then used against him rather than for him. Think about it. Because you have to disclose the video to both the defendants and the prosecutors.
Lee, can I just tell you that is Issa, by the way?
You know
on
that.
the panel, he said he's going to be a few minutes. I just messaged him just to find out if it's him. So it is.
I was about to boot his clout again still. All right. Cool, that's good. Cause we want a Muslim on the panel, even though the majority of Muslims in the comment section probably won't recognize him as a Muslim, but I definitely want a Muslim on the. He's the target things, brother.
Them as well.
Is that the real black detect?
Apparently.
Big up to the panel. Big up.
Come on.
Oh no, it's the Shias in town. Oh no.
Go on.
Yeah.
I'll go on, brother.
Blessing. I mean, boy, I didn't even know this was coming on, so I just tune on when I see people on the panel.
Yeah,
so
it was a random thing. Still, you want to give your input as the only Muslim on the panel.
Well, let me show it to you like this, yeah.
The real Muslim on the panel, real Muslim.
Did I go after him?
When I speak about this cult, it's not from reading, it's not from hearsay. It's because I was part of this thing. One thing I haven't told you lot is that I was a person that was in Sheikh Faisal's house. Sheikh Abdullah Faisal, the Dominican, when he lived in Whitechapel. You understand? Or used to teach in Whitechapel. We used to buy his tapes, right? One of them, obviously, in particular, he had, it's called something to do with the Salafi Saudis, and the government, and he was a great promoter, if you like, of what we would call terrorism. The main thing that you don't have to understand is how this thing works is the devaluing of everyone who's not a Sunni. Your life don't mean nothing. And that's the first step to all the terrorist acts. And it's the thing that pervades the whole of the Sunni religion. And until you lot understand that these people, because you don't have any value, lying to you don't mean nothing. So when Raj is talking about Shamsi's the first to expose him, Shamsi's on exactly the same thing. He's just on stealth. Shamsi's just on another way of doing the same thing. Because you have to remember, one of the things, there was a video played with Adnan Rashid on Takia Watch's show. And what he showed was Adnan Rashid was saying that the reason for being in the West or in the UK is to give dawah, right? So think about it. You're in a country where you're given safety, you're given even benefits, you're given opportunity to work and all of these things, and you're whole reason for being in the country is to try and convert people to your ideology, which is another form of conquest. Don't you not get it? The only reason these people, that's it, that's all they think about. Once they're on this Sunni religion, it's about conquest and enslaving you in some form. If you because they're realizing that the masses now, not just the government, but even the masses are turning against them based upon their beliefs. They're now having to use taqiyya. Do you get me? So this is their whole religion now is taqiyya with these people talking. Look at Adnan Rashid was sitting there next to Sheikh Faisal. There's no way Adnan Rashid could not pretend that he don't know what Sheikh Faisal was teaching. You get what I'm saying? So.
No, it's even worse than that. It's worse than that. He wasn't just sitting with Sheikh Faisal. Well, let me just collaborate. Sheikh Faisal was at court at the time of being, he then got convicted after of actually promoting terrorism and actually inspiring real terrorist events. Prior to the case, because not a lot of Muslims were going to support him, Adnan Rashid was saying you must support the brother at the court case. This is very, 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 very concerning.
Allegedly.
Now, before anyone says here, hold on 1 minute, before anyone says they're going to sue me for this, I want you to, because we have got the recording verified and it cost a lot of money. And so if we go to court, it can be permissible in court to prove it was Adnan Rashid. Make my day, sue me.
Go on, Afgan.
Yeah, Afgan, go on.
I just want to make comment when Afgan is finished. Go ahead.
Anyway, basically my point is I 100% agree with Intellect in regards to Shamsi. I think Shamsi and a few of his associates are just as radical, but they're on self mode. So they're going to really cover their own tracks. But anyway, this whole ideology of Islamism, you got to understand is I fought this ideology in Afghanistan, and I can tell you one thing: you cannot defeat it through the use of weapons. You have to fight it by the use of intellect and through the pen, and by challenging their ideas. So the way, basically, these people, they're very different from political terrorism. They're more of a spiritual terrorist. Because look at the guy who was it called Umar Khan? I mean, have you ever seen a terrorist in any history wearing a novelty suicide belt, going around stabbing people just to make sure he dies in the end and doesn't get captured? These people are on a spiritual quest to do as much damage for an afterlife reward. So what COE's done, and Raj and everyone, is good to expose these people, their ideas, their radical views, and let the public scrutinize them. That's how you defeat them, not by physical force.
Well, this is the problem we have is we also have an issue where every time you do scrutinize them, there's a whole bunch of lefties, liberals who scream, Islamophobe, Islamophobe, oh, you so Islam. Not all Muslims, not all Muslims. This concept of not all is to me the most ridiculous thing ever. You can take demographics of anything on the planet and say not all. Not all lions kill you in the Serengeti. But I tell you what, I'm not going to take a fucking walk in the Serengeti in the middle of the night in lion country. Maybe one of those lions might not want to eat me, but the rest probably will. So this is the problem. Not all is nonsense. What you have to recognize is that we don't worry about Buddhists. We don't worry about Hindus. We don't have these conversations about Buddhists and Hindus. And there's a reason for that. Because the ideology doesn't have wal bara, wal wala, wal bara. Do you guys even know what that is? It's hate for the sake of Allah and love for the sake of Allah. We don't have these things in other religions. That's why we don't worry about other religions this way. But I don't want to get into the whole aspect of why I personally think the ideology of Islam is what we should be looking at, and we're always distracted by Islamists versus Islam. But that's fine. One thing I want to say to Leon is that I love it the fact that Jordan M despises you for being a free speech advocate, for recording everyone and exposing everyone, but he only hates you when you put your cameras in front of people who talk against Islam. But when his own brethren are found to be convicts of terrorist activities, I don't see him here. Where is he to tell you, well done, Leon, that you exposed this individual for who he was, even though he was a Muslim? You don't see him here. He's boycotted you from Speaker's Corner because you put your camera in front of everyone. But he himself stood next to that same terrorist. He himself supports all those other people who that terrorist, who that convict recorded videos for. And yet I don't see one single video from Jordan condemning this man or actually discussing.
None of the Muslim channels have spoken about it. Like
Not a
they
single
tried,
one.
and they've now blocked me even in the chats because they don't like the fact that I've proven to be right. They can't accept it that Steve's been proven to right. And all of the guys that were calling this guy out have been proven to be vindicated now, because this guy is now going to be facing jail time. So yeah, big up to the Stevenator for starting this, because without his first video, yeah, it would have went under the radar.
Raj, I want to ask, can you hear me, Raj?
Yeah, going on.
Hello? I want to ask you, what do you think, I mean, because you continuously say, you know, apart from these type of Muslims and these type of guys in the block, based upon what you know of this ideology where taqiyya, in the form of not for your, you know, the Shia ways, because the Shias were, they were trying to wipe them out, so you literally had to pretend you were Sunni or something. But I'm saying now that they're here in a safe country and they're having to quick shape shift and bend everything regarding their ideology, can you think of any Sunnis that you can actually trust? Because if you think about it, the fact that, I mean, what was it? Banksy made a very important point when it comes to Jordan M, but not just Jordan M. Just think of the rest of them, of how, if they really felt the same way that we do against any form of ideology or any group that is really hateful to innocent human beings, they would hate it more than us because it is doing it in the name of Sunnism. Do you understand? So they would hate it more than us. So you would have thought their channels would have been really happy to say, boom, we're having discussions on how we need, this is an example, we need to purify them.
Let me tell you the experience. Let me tell you the experience I had. And I'll tell you something, yeah, I don't believe all Muslims agree with terrorism. And I'm not of that mind of thought. But what I was so upset, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it really red-pilled me to the fact that there were individuals that I presumed, I'm not going to say names, so I don't want to get personal, that I presumed to be moderate Muslims, people that were forward-thinking, that when the overwhelming evidence was shown to them about Abu Qasim, they said, okay, that's not enough. And it was the definition of covering your brother's sins, but to a point where you're covering a brother's sins who is on the point of promoting terrorism, or maybe even might even inspire someone. That really thing. And then also, some individuals, I'm going to say the guy's name, Nibiru Pirates, I've said it now, tried to derail the case and phoned up the court while the court was going on and started to say that I was doing contempt of court, XYZ, to try and derail an ongoing case. And I think it might have been someone like him and others that actually sent the videos to the court thinking that it would have actually derailed the case because we was challenging him. Instead, it went against them because the video that they might have sent was used to actually prove the point that he's a liar. So I'm more concerned about even the Muslims. Let me just say, there are Muslims that really put their necks out and they were totally kind of like shunned, or they were made to feel like they're being backstabbing. I mean, I would say Sid Bash was one of the guys. There was other individuals, they were like Paul Williams and all of those kind of guys. And they were just doing what they should do, which is try and protect their country, their family, their people, because it's the Muslims that are going to suffer more if a terrorist attack happens. Because not only does a terrorist attack happen, your community is then chucked under the bus as well.
Let me say something now. I've seen a few Muslims in the comments say that how come there ain't no Muslims on the panel, The link's in the description. I want Muslims to come on still and express your point of view. You get me? Because, like I said, I don't want it to be just...
What about Sunni Spec? Get Sunni Spec on it.
Could I make a final point?
Yo, hey Raj, control yourself, man. Control yourself.
Can we get Raspek to represent the Sunni Muslims, please?
Calm down.
Bring him on.
Calm down.
No, it's true. He represents
Hey yo,
Islam.
hey Raj,
I'm
calm
sorry,
down,
sorry,
man.
sorry.
Let me say what I'm saying, man. Let me say what I'm saying. Peace to my brother Raspek. But what I'm saying, yeah, like obviously this is a current topic right now. I'm mixed up in this thing that's I made the show in the first place. But I wanted to give people the opportunity to discuss it from their own perspective. I believe that the more perspectives we look at something from, the clearer the truth of the matter could potentially become. You get me? So I want Muslims to express themselves. Obviously, we got Issa on the panel, and enough of you don't recognize him as a Muslim, and vice versa. But it's an open platform. Everybody's welcome and encouraged. You get me? So come on. The link's in the description. You're more than welcome. And yeah, I definitely want you on there still.
I'm not kind of eating on it stuff, but can I just quickly throw in, I mean, from a conservative perspective, there's an elephant in the room. The only reason we're seeing characters like this one and Usman Khan and the array of these people before, and we assume more to come, is because we have a liberal society that's tolerant of it. The reason is not Muslims covering other Muslims. It's a liberal society tolerating as part and parcel living with this. Until we become intolerant of it, we're never going to get rid of it. Right? Just another attack, you get desensitized. Another attack, you desensitized. The root cause problem is liberal society is providing cover for a hostile foreign ideology that is illiberal. Islam is illiberal at its core. It is not a liberal ideology, and it's been put into a liberal country, and it's somehow allowed to continue. So until we challenge that root cause that said we cannot be tolerant of this liberal multicultural values, Islamic threats are going nowhere. Like two sides of the conservative camp.
Could I just add a point quick, then I'm going to go. Basically, you got to understand is that Abu Qasim is Bengali, Surfaz is Bengali, Said is Bengali, Nasser is Bengali, and they're all and Halima as well. These people are individuals on these hangouts and streams and in Speaker's Corner. But the thing is, there is a big influence of a Islamist group called the Jamaat Islami Bangladesh, and they have a lot of what can I say, circles of influence around London. So I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing such radicals in that part of Britain, because there's always some kind of foreign influence, trying to influence certain areas in the West to keep this Islamist ideology strong and embedded within the minority groups and communities. So just Google Jamaat Islami, because Bangladesh, people from Abu Qasim's community, they're naturally very secular, but the worst of the worst have come to Britain. This is the thing. You would never find Abu Qasim in Bangladesh, but they're all here with this ideology, and it's just sad, unfortunate. Thank you.
Yeah, so Leon, you're playing that video of Adnan Rashid doing damage control, and remember this video is on Sunday, and the guy was being he got basically convicted of the crime on Tuesday. The only reason Adnan Rashid done this video was not because he was condemning his extremism or thinking that, or trying to kind of say, okay, what you're doing is wrong and blah blah blah. He only did it because he's saying you're embarrassing the Dawa team. You're embarrassing me. That's it. Yeah, that's not good enough. We gave you months and months. Yeah, and we gave you enough information to challenge this guy months ago, and all you did was say, well, you support Tommy Robinson, you're an Islamophobe, and he supports what's his name, Anjem Chowdhury, you're the same. That's it. That's all he said.
Can I just say something? It occurred to me earlier, and I think I mentioned it to somebody else, that whilst for the whole 12 months or so that he was in the Old Bailey, he had internet restrictions and a curfew. And those internet restrictions were clearly flagrantly breached by him filming in the park. Whether or not he was live streaming, he still, I imagine, uploaded them somewhere or sent them somewhere using the internet.
No, it's on his channel. It's on his channel. He even uploaded the video of the London
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just finish what I'm saying. Yeah. So the point is that the guy's been not only, it's just ridiculous to me that somewhere that, please God, it never happens, that is highly scrutinised for, it's freedom of speech to an extent, but clearly people other than just people interested in free speech are watching those videos, all the videos. So Leon, I wouldn't feel singled out at all, really. But whilst that's going on, he's entitled, and he is entitled, but not to use the internet, to walk around filming like private citizens walking through a public place, and the rest of us who are there publicly, speaking about our views. And I just think whilst we're now aware of his associations and his potential ideology, and if he promoted those views through the literature that he disseminated, like, what's he doing with that footage? It's just creepy to me.
No, it's online.
Hey yo, hey Raj, hey one sec. Afgan Kandak, I'm gonna put you in the back room for a minute. I'm gonna make
I'm going anyway.
Okay.
Thank you for allowing me on. Leon, big up, man.
No problem. Peace. I'm gonna make Zyriab Jamal. We've got a Muslim on the panel, ladies and gentlemen. A Sunni.
Oh, he's a Quranist. They don't accept him.
He's a Quranist. He don't count.
Get Sunnis. Get respect on the real Muslim.
Raj is continuously trolling. He doesn't take it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, Raj, it's a serious thing, fam. A man sitting in the bin right now. I don't know how much time he's got.
I'm not even. I'm saying
he can't help himself.
He represents the Sunni Muslim community as well. You said. Am I trolling, or is that what he does?
You did say you were trolling earlier, so.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Zyriab. I don't, fam. I make the Muslims look strong in this thing.
Yeah. So what am I saying?
Tackle the Islamophobes, fam.
Yeah, it's not even like the Islam can be on trial in this case, because as a Muslim, obviously, I would contest any type of extremist reading of the Quran or the sources that accompany, like in the secondary sources. So as a practicing Muslim, obviously, I would contest all of that, and I would look towards something that hasn't been mentioned in the conversation thus far, and that's the security services failure in this instance. In the instance that was mentioned, like the tragic incident the other day in London Bridge. So that's something that hasn't been really spoken about, and it was politicized with all the major politicians like recently, and I think that's kind of sad because of the people who lost their lives on that day, especially given their explicit wishes on the part of those who passed and were victims on that attack on that day. Explicitly said that they don't want the deaths of their loved ones to be politicized. So that's just one thing.
Can you elaborate on the failures, please? Sorry, can you elaborate on the failures, please?
I mean, it's a major point that hasn't been mentioned when we're talking about this and that, and in terms of causes. I agree. There's many causes, and one that hasn't been mentioned is the failures of the security services. In terms of, I say it's not only the security services, but also the justice system, and how it is that this person came to be released on that particular day and out in the public to cause damage. And it's not an isolated incident. If we look at the recent arrest of the most wanted man in Britain in last week, was this white dude. I can't remember his name, but he was jailed for violent sexual offences up and down the country. And that was another failure of the justice system, where this person was let out in large and was able to do it.
But specifically this guy.
Hold on, with respect, I've got a couple of things I wanted to mention, so I just wanted to leave that there for a second, and talk about how, as I say earlier, like I can't really even talk about this in terms of on trial situation. It's like a few things were mentioned. For example, the East London mosque. I don't know if that's involved in any way. All of this, just to draw a line under it and have other people come into the conversation, is ultimately public information, and so it's not really breaking news. You see what I'm saying? And I'll draw a line underneath it after that.
I just want to, if you finish, basically, I think, unfortunately, if you mention things like the security services, you're kind of saying something similar to what Ralph is trying to say. And if you think about it, Zyriab, Ralph is basically saying ban Islam totally, right? Now, if you follow the logic of the security services, what can they do about a man or any person who's infected with this psychological virus when it comes to coming out with a knife?
I'm gonna see if I can make myself come out, because right now I got my mic recording the sound, because something's wrong with my sound still. But Summaya Ra's on the she wants to jump in. So unless anybody else wants to jump out so she can jump in, I'm gonna try to take myself out and put her in, and hopefully the sound will still pick up. You get me? So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and the intro just quickly. I want to throw this one out there, like with like, yeah. Well, I'll wait for it. So, carry on.
Okay, so what I was saying is that in regards to the security service have foiled a whole heap of plots when it comes to bombs and other things like that. But when it comes to something like a knife, like, just think, how on earth would they be able to monitor?
Well, I mean, that's just it. When we talk about security services success, we have to talk about security service failures, and that's just part of the conversation that hasn't been.
No, but how's that a failure? Listen, what I'm saying, brother. I'm saying once you've got an ideology where certain.
No, I'll tell you how it's a failure. Can I say how it's a failure, Zyriab? How it's a failure is. And no, hold on. If there was, hold on. If we're led to believe, can I just tell you? You asked him a question, and I have no, but I can give you the answer. How the security failure? You have finished. You reiterated it.
I have not finished. I have not finished. I have not finished.
No, but you want to know how they felt, so I can tell you.
I haven't. No. I haven't finished in what I was saying just then.
Okay, go on.
Zyriab. If you think about it, Zyriab, in relation to the fact that certain people will say, according to certain hadiths which are considered authentic.
No, you're jumping off the point that you just made. Zyriab, what you can point out is no, but you're going to hadith.
Stop interrupting.
The guy was a known terrorist. Why was he invited to the event? And why was there even no searches there?
See what I mean by these people?
How was you not checked for weapons?
We're having a civilized conversation.
Allowed to come into Central Park.
We're having a civilized conversation.
And he asked me
and they even want to take conquest over a conversation.
So anyway, I'll give you those points if you need them to be up.
I'm not jumping at all. As I was saying, we see here even trying to conquer and bring imperialism into conversations, dominate speakers' corner, dominate platforms in Google Hangouts, bloody hell, what's next? But anyway,
no, but
so my point is simply this.
You asked him a question, but you don't want the answer.
Don't longer.
Hold on. I asked Zyriab a question, specifically him, and then after he said what he said, I'm just finishing off what I'm saying, and then you're welcome to say whatever you want to say. So as I was saying, very simply this. If we follow what Ralph was basically trying to say, that from his perspective, the whole of Islam, from the root all the way through every single branch and leaf and fruit, he's saying is a terrorist ideology, right? I'm saying unless we can formulate some way of saying, right, there are certain hadiths and certain commentaries on the Quran which outright must be consistently and justifiably rejected, even to the point where certain Sahaba are looked at as the people we're supposed to follow, because this is some of the things where people are rolling. I'm saying until you have that, you will find that they will be gradually working towards banning Islam. Because I'm saying to you, brother, that people do not always have to be caught first and then go in prison and then be on a security services watch list. They can just be someone that's studying this stuff. They go into the masjid by themselves, talking with other guys. No police, the police don't know nothing. And then they go crazy and they do something. That's how people were successful before. Do you see what I'm saying? So how are the security services going to watch everyone? Hold on, let me just finish this last bit. Unless they decide to watch every person who is a Muslim. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Because I'm saying, what if Ralph...
That's on the condition that it follows now. Addressing the point that you made, because you referenced what Ralph was saying, yeah? You see, if he's going to insist that it's as a religion, it's a terroristic thing, obviously I would ask and proffer up for evidence, and then it would turn into an argument or a conversation or a debate.
Forget that.
Where we would contest all of those interpretations. At the end of the day, they're interpretations of the primary source, which is the Quran, and the secondary sources around that. So that's one point. Now, leaving that there, addressing the other point, even kind of entertaining it just for argument's sake, I would obviously kind of say, seeing as it's contested, and I'm sure you can say the same thing for what I'm going to say here, but nevertheless, I could say that Christianity as a whole, and I could argue that Catholicism across the world, when we're talking about Latin America, when we're talking about most of the known world, and this is the interesting thing, and one second, and this is the interesting thing, Protestantism, the Protestant religion has been at the core of the so-called age of discovery, at least from the 18th century. And when we're talking about the India subcontinent, when we're talking about the East and East India Company, and we're talking about the continental, I'm talking about European, Netherlands versions of these, the Dutch East India companies and so on and so forth. When we're talking about the trappings of the modern world, when we're talking about how when we're living in the legacy of, we're talking about arguably the terroristic endeavors of Christianity. But that would be a polemical point. I'm sure the Christians on the panel would argue against that and contest that. So reducing it to something as simple or kind of reductionist as X is a terroristic thing, I think it's just laughable, really.
But that's not
Zyriab.
Well,
Zyriab. So let me just say, Zyriab, you don't have intrinsic to the general Christian doctrine a political ideology that includes instructions on warfare that may be misinterpreted, bruv. Generally, I'm not saying
What are you talking about? Don't talk to the Christians. They got just wolf theory. Don't do that.
That's a theory.
No, I'm saying.
Bring the scripture.
I'm saying.
What? And 1 second, Kay. What? And church fathers haven't mentioned church. They haven't mentioned. Are you telling me that church fathers haven't mentioned just wolf? Wait. Are you telling me? Hold on a second.
I think Summaya should speak because she was next.
1 second, Isa. I'm asking a question. Are you telling me that church fathers haven't mentioned just wolf?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you, bring me the scripture because I can show you Quranic verse.
You're telling me it's just a theory, but the point is that those.
You're talking about the religion, and you're talking about
those church fathers would have referenced scripture, would they not?
No, because Pope Urban had such a terrible time trying to convince people.
I'm not mentioning.
I'm mentioning that because that's a massive warfare on behalf of Catholicism in Europe in the timescale almost that you mentioned. So I'm saying the Pope prior to him could not rally Christian troops because of that.
Okay, can we not go into theology? I wanted to talk to Raj.
Hold on. Final point. Let her finish. The final point that would be that Augustine mentioned just war theory and wrote a whole.
Yeah, Augustine is not scriptural.
Augustine would mention scripture when he's. Do you want me to pull it? Do you want me to pull up?
Sorry, content wants the conversation to go back on track. Sorry, guys. Content wants the conversation to go back on track because it's getting derailed.
Yeah, so I'll bring it back on track. I'll bring it back on track. Raj.
Okay, Summaya. Okay, I don't want to argue, but
no. There's no argument. Because I'm trying to understand Raj really. Okay, I can understand. Obviously, you're celebrating Abu Qasim going to prison. Cool, that's great. I want to understand what is your contention, because to me it looks like you're running a smear campaign against Adnan Rashid. And I'm really, apart from a conversation that you had about India, which I don't think that you liked, the historical perspective that he gave you and the numbers of the dead Indians, I guess. I'm not really that clued up on that part of history. But it feels like from that, I sense that you disliked him. But I feel like now you're actually going after the man on very dodgy ground. So
I would say yes, I am going after the man. I'm not going to make no qualms about it. I think Adnan Rashid has slandered me, Steve, and other people at Speaker's Corner for 2 years.
How has he slandered you?
All right, so he goes up on camera. I'll get the video footage.
This is opportunism.
All right, so let me say that he's been going onto camera saying Raj, Steve, and certain other people are being paid by Tommy Robinson as instigators and provocateurs, that we are with the far right. We're with these groups, those groups. So
you have aligned with Tommy at least. I mean, I'm not sure about the pain.
Yeah, well, I it's not that I am aligned with Tommy still. So what I'm saying is that this guy has slandered a lot of people over the last 2 years, being linked.
Okay, so what was the slander in that the payment? Hold on, what was the slander in that the payment? Like, because you have.
Name me as Tommy Robinson directly, known any terrorist who's gone on to actually commit terrorist offences.
Not directly, but I think terrorists have quoted and mentioned him and said that they've
mentioned him, but the difference between The difference between mentioning someone and actually sitting with people and saying defending them is a different thing.
I'm just saying it would depend on the wordings that Adnan himself said. If he's saying this guy's associated with that association, I don't know what words did he use, but I'm saying.
All right, so
admitting, but the main thing is you're admitting because you feel personally done by that statement.
No, it's nothing to do with that statement.
You're attaching him to terrorism and all these kind of other stuff. And that's
Sorry,
what I'm saying.
Let me moderate a bit. Hold on, let me moderate a bit. Raj, one sec. Raj, one sec. Let me just moderate a bit. Sumaira, can you specifically point out exactly what it is that you've got issue with Raj, in the sense that ask him a question, i.e. for evidence of what a specific claim is, so that it can be more. Yeah.
Like I said, I've noticed that Raj obviously is going after Adnan, and as Raj himself just admitted to, he feels wronged by Adnan because of the wordings that he said in terms of, far right and whatever. I am trying to understand why, because he feels hard done by that, does he not see the gravity of implying that this man is somehow related to terroristic individuals and was aware of this and aware of that? I mean, I feel like the revenge that he's seeking is far greater than what he feels was done to him. And does he not consider that?
Can I respond? So first of all, I'm not going to talk too much on these onlines about Adnan Rashid, because I will do my talking in Speaker's Corner, where I will utilise the free speech of Speaker's Corner to say what I need to say. So if anyone's trying to kind of like, maybe, I'm not saying you are, but I think people want me to say stuff, I'm not going to get too deep into it. Not because I don't want to, but because I know people are going to try and sue me.
I'm just trying to understand. I'm
not saying you. I'm not saying you. I look here. Whatever I think of you, Summaya, I do think you come from a good place, because I've seen you challenge your Muslim brothers. I've seen you challenge others. You've been relatively fair. So if you ask me these questions, I will take you seriously, because I think you truly probably are concerned for certain things. So I don't think you're disingenuous in that sense, but I do think you're wrong. There's a difference. I think you're wrong, but not disingenuous. You truly believe what you're trying to kind of understand why I have an issue with Adnan Rashid.
Yeah,
and it's a very long 2-year kind of to and fro, and I don't want to go too much into it, but the claims he has made against me are actually being reversed on him, and he is actually the person that is linked to real terrorists and terrorism.
Correct.
So that's what I will prove after the next couple of weeks.
One sec, let me cut to the trace. Is this something that you genuinely believe about Adnan Rashid, based upon evidence, or is this personal revenge because of what he's been saying about you? Which one is it?
No, I would never ever go for somebody if I didn't have full on 100% conviction and evidence that I know that this individual has done, to this degree, because I will be. I know certain things, and I know about Adnan Rashid, and I'll expose this guy. The thing is that with Adnan Rashid, he's been chucking this thing about for the last 2 years. You're an Islamophobia. This, if you question anything, even with this Adnan Rashid, even with this Abu Qasim thing, we gave him multiple chances. Paul Williams told him, and so did. The only person that really challenged him, Abu Qasim, was Shamsi. Now, Shamsi could find the evidence here relatively quickly about this guy being linked to Anjem Chowdhury. Why couldn't Adnan Rashid? So I'm not saying anything legally is going to happen to Adnan Rashid, but I will say this. His kind of reputation as being somebody that is against extremism.
What did you expect him to do about Abu Qasim? Because I know Adnan I follow him a little bit, not a lot, but I do know that he travels a lot, he gives speeches a lot. So I don't know what you expected him to do, to like look into the guy's background, or what are you saying? What did Shamsi do that he did?
So basically, this is what happened. We found out around 3 months ago through videos. There was one video of him with Anjem Chowdhury, and he was praying and sending out literature. And fair enough, he said that wasn't. He was just going to boats to pray and all that kind of stuff. And he made some lie up because he's a pathological liar. Then we found a second video of him, but this time on Vice News, with not only Anjem Chowdhury, but 4 other really extreme individuals that some of them are actually behind bars now. And so when we presented his evidence to this guy and said, look, this is, because there's a video of Steve going up to Adnan Rashid, who was being filmed by Abu Qasim, and there was Mansour there. He goes up to them and says, this guy here is an Anjem Chowdhury, and he supports XYZ. Now, we got the video footage.
Can I ask you?
Let me just finish one minute. Let me finish. So we got the video footage of 3 months ago, him going up to Adnan Rashid, and Adnan Rashid's response was, well, you support Tommy Robinson, he supports Anjem Chowdhury.
No, but
they're
I'm
both
sure you would have spoken
extremists.
to the guy about it. Okay, but that was like how many years ago? That video of the guy and Antrim.
Sheikh Faisal.
No, you said no. You're talking about somebody with Anjem Chowdhury.
Abu Qasim. That was in 2014. And that was also the time that he is now convicted of the offences that he was. The only reason he stopped doing it is because he got looked into and he started getting convicted for certain crimes, so he's disassociated himself. But with the situation with
Hold on. He just got convicted. Okay, I looked up what he got convicted of. He got convicted of 4 charges of uploading content that relates to Sheikh Faisal. That had nothing to do with Anjem Chowdhury.
That's the point. So this is even worse.
So the point is, if you showed him that video, it wouldn't have had anything to do with this trial. It could have been someone saying, hold on a minute, are you associated with Anjem Chowdhury? And he could have been like, well, 5 years ago, I was in the same circles with him and I'm not. It's just a possibility because that charge has nothing to do with the Anjem.
All right. So let me elaborate. Yeah. So this situation about Anjem Chowdhury and this case are 2 separate issues with Adnan Rashid. They're 2 separate things. So when you're looking at that one, what you should have done with that one was to say, look, dude, yeah, there's a lot of evidence against you. We're going to disassociate ourselves unless you answer the questions. Unfortunately, what Adnan Rashid done was
at that time, the only evidence was him praying with Anjem Chowdhury. So
no, there wasn't. It wasn't just that. So there was a clip of him praying with Anjem Chowdhury. There's a clip of him with Anjem Chowdhury giving out leaflets.
So it's all Anjem Chowdhury related, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then there was another video on Vice News, which is a massive news organisation online.
I know Vice.
With him again on there with Anjem Chowdhury, but Abdul Hakim as well, and 4 other terrorists.
So it's still within the same circles of Anjem then, really?
Yeah. So he was.
Yeah, he followed Anjem
Chowdhury.
So
he was an Anjem Chowdhury. Yeah, so he was an Anjem Chowdhury full-on, not just a supporter. He was within the inner circle. And when we went to Speaker's Corner, if he just said...
But you do know, can I just say to you, hold on a minute. Sometimes you see the way it is now, yeah, because I'm a Muslim, yeah. There would have been, I mean, Sheikh Faisal in his time, because now everybody sees the person who's charged with the crime, and that's it. But these are individuals who would have had a long standing within certain communities. Like Sheikh Faisal wasn't always, I think, the person he ended up being. He would have been like 10 years in the Dawah circles. Lots of people would have associated with him at certain times. But maybe as his speech changes, sometimes you kind of move away.
No, not into look. Summaya, you're trying to kind of like try and be fair, but you're getting a bit silly now. Hold on.
The Dawah circle, like everybody mixes, I would assume. So.
All right, so let me explain. Yeah, these stalls were not just kind of like your random stalls that people went up to and it wasn't controversial. He was in the stalls giving out literature for Anjem Chowdhury. Not just once, but twice on camera. That's just on camera.
No, I'm not disputing that. You're not understanding me.
And also, so the other thing is, right, so let me just finish.
Let me finish. Let me make one point. I'm saying to you, Anjem Chowdhury, in his 20 years, okay, it was like the end. What did they charge him with? I think ISIS-related speech, isn't it? Like he gave bayah to ISIS or whatever. So I'm saying, like, there's maybe been 10 years before that people could have associated with him and nobody would have thought
this video was in 2014 recorded. So this is at the height of Anjem Chowdhury's. This was at the height of Anjem. All right, this was at the height of... Who's that? This was at the height of Anjem Chowdhury's support for ISIS. So this is at the time where ISIS was in control of Syria and he was in full support of that group, yeah? So this ain't 10 years ago, 15 years ago. This was at the peak of his, what you call, controversy. And this guy was on camera supporting and giving out leaflets and talking and mixing with these people, yeah?
I'm sorry, but you guys can go back and forwards here. And the point is, this is just gossip. This is just gossip and Speaker's Corner, people playing policemen. And I have a second, and Speaker's Corner is just people running around pretending they're playing police or pretending they're playing jihad.
Oh, shut up, you brown Nazi. You're not even white. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, brown boy. Shut your mouth, brown boy. Brown boy, be quiet. Don't talk about me, brown boy. Jawana, chup karo.
Leon,
Right.
Right, so the point is, despite I appreciate people in the speaker's corner and the gossip community run around and they're quite excited. Everyone's trying to play Adnan Hunter or ISIS Hunter, and people are rightfully Muslims are trying to defend their brothers and sisters against what they see as an unperceived attack or something. I'll hand over to you a second time. But the point is, the larger point is, the people of Britain and the victims of these attacks don't care about Adnan Rashid, Terminators, or any such thing. They care about keeping the people safe. And what we know simply is the volume and frequency of these attacks keep rising, and they're correlated with the number of Muslims in the country. I don't care if Adnan Rashid is innocent.
What volumes are you talking about? The thing is, even the one that just happened in the London Bridge, to be honest with you, it's very suspect whether it was even a terrorist-related incident, because although the guy has a history of whatever, I feel like his previous crime has impacted this. The guy killed people he knew, people that was trying to help him. He didn't make any political statements. It's because Boris Johnson wanted to make political capital out of it, and the media ran with this narrative of terrorist attack. But really, if they delve deeper, they probably will find the guy has a mental illness. But nobody wants to say that because he's a Muslim.
But Summaya, why would Boris Johnson and the rest of the people make political capital of it?
Come on, there's an election. When is the election? Tomorrow? It's already election day. I mean, that's a silly question. Come on now.
Summaya, just take turns. Summaya, my point is, the reason it is that because there is an underwave sentiment of concern across Europe. Especially
there's a sentiment of concern that you are trying to create. You told me yourself. Hold on. You told me yourself.
Are you going to play the interrupt game or should we take turns? I don't mind either way, but the audience doesn't like interrupt games. Right, so my point here is that literally the sentiment analysis showing as the number of attacks and the frequency of attacks show up. And we have no way on the other side to differentiate scripture notwithstanding, Shia versus Sunni notwithstanding, Sahih Bukhari's notwithstanding. The general population have no way to discern a man growing up in Staffordshire, raised in English air, suddenly goes mental. We have no way of telling. And the general sentiment analysis is how many more attacks do we need to take before we tackle the core issue that Islam is not working out for us, right? You can get
thank you. All that. Are you finished?
Yeah.
All that you've highlighted, I think, Ralph, is that there will always be people like you. People like you who will always capitalize on incidents like this when we don't actually know what led to what happened, and you want to scaremonger the people. I think everybody can hear that.
I just want to say that I
don't think he was saying anything of real depth there.
No, but this is the thing. He is saying something of great importance.
Been agreeing with him the whole evening. I mean, I would expect you to agree with that, but I'm gonna try and give a counter narrative if that's all right with you.
What does I agree with him with?
This idea here that it's somehow not working, not meshing. It's just again.
When did I say that?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not paying attention.
I'm talking to the point that Ralph specifically made that you seem to be in agreement with, and you just said that you're in agreement with. The point is, in addressing that point, that when you look at the community in question, the Muslim community in the UK, the overrepresentation is sure. Okay, let's say in some measures you can skew the figures. That can always be done. But in any case, the problem is addressed by de-radicalization, by addressing the certain interpretations that people have, whatever background they come from, when it comes to engaging with the primary and the Quran and the secondary sources. So this point of engaging with extremist readings is the major point. And then there's obviously the work or the kind of studies and the kind of career that one of the victims of the attack on the bridge was pursuing is in the criminal justice system. So it's about obviously dealing, as I say, with what I mentioned earlier, with the failure of the security services and as well as the justice system, is dealing with the failures of the justice system. And that's a point that when we're talking about the British public, that's what we need to be mentioning.
Sorry, Ralph, let me go next. One
in
second.
terms of addressing the actual points.
Go ahead.
This is how you're actually going to be addressing the point.
Zyriab, I think the thing that you and Summaya missed was he is saying that the general thoughts and feelings of the masses. Is they don't care about Sunni or Shia. They don't want to have to go and study for 5 to 10 years what Islam really says. They have a sentiment that this thing, regardless of what it is dangerous. Now the question is that true? Is that amongst the minds of the masses true? Now the answer to that is yes. So why are you lot sort of blaming him for him expressing a reality that's in the country? How is that?
I don't think we're blaming him. Obviously, I'm entitled to interpret. I'm entitled to understand what he says to me, how I see it. I believe.
I'm not contesting that.
One second.
I don't think the masses.
Can I finish?
That's the point.
Okay. Ralph can tell me that he can speak for the public, and this is what they're feeling. But I also live amongst the public, and I know the opinions there. You know, that's not what I see. That's not what I believe. And if they do make that decision, you say you're a Muslim. I don't know if you intend to change your religion to please the masses. Me personally, I'm not intending to do that. So
stop with them insults.
I'm just saying, I'll just wait for the public decision there. When they're ready to kick me out, I'll pack my bags. What's the big deal?
Okay, Summaya, may I ask you a simple question? Because I think what's his name made a really good point. It's Isa, isn't it? Is that Isa?
Yeah, Isa.
Yeah. But I think the point here is that it's not my view. The largest report studied by the far left in the government under Hope Not Hate, conducted for 18 months, gave you the sentiment analysis, and I'm quoting the figures directly, I can share the report for you guys, that 35% of the UK population deemed Islam a threat, and 65% of the UK population believe it's incompatible. That is the sentiment I'm referring to, not my anecdotal experience or yours, the government-funded analysis of consumer sentiment.
Those figures seem a little bit odd, because that would mean that 65% of the population, including the Muslim population, have deemed it incompatible. Whilst I can appreciate that Muslims may see it as incompatible with a Christian country or a secular country, I don't quite understand how 100% of people, including me, by the way, because nobody
I didn't say 100%, Kay. I'm looking at the data right in front of me.
Plus 65%, which is
not 100. No, not 30.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Kay, you're adding them. You're adding them.
He knows what you mean. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the total number is 60. Correct, I'm looking at it. Yeah, 35% believe it's a threat, and it's up to 64% depending on which segment. I've got the data in front of me. Believe it's incompatible.
As if it was 100%.
I don't know, it's not 100, of course it's not. But so what you have is a large underswelling, as Isa said.
Whose data is that? Where can I find that data?
Absolutely. Let me put in the link chat so everyone can read it. I'll put in the chat in the back chat a link, so I don't know if I can post it.
Do you have a title for it? I can check it myself.
It's on the private chat. I've already posted a link. But the point I was saying that Isa said rightfully is that the deeper question has to be, for the Muslim community, fundamentally, is the sentiment to be addressed on its face value? And secondly, what would be your political, theological, etc., justifications for that position? But have no mistake that the actual people don't care. As he said, they're never going to read the Quran. All they see is Manchester or London Bridge. Now, the justice system on fake point for Zyriab, a quick last point is Zyriab's point. Yeah, Zyriab's point about the failing of the security services and the counter by Isa and everything is these are downstream from the actual problem. Right? The security services are reacting to a threat. The threat is already present. They're then reacting. So we look at their failures. We're looking at failures to react. The action is already occurred by the people. The people already have this.
I'm glad you agree with me. And in regards to the upstream aspects to this issue, the engagement with how you say, people who are going down the path of radicalization or going down the path of extremism, you necessarily require the engagement. At the end of the day, coming from that community and speaking from experience, one can have a proactive approach, but that proactive approach can only go so far in terms of engaging with problematic, or as I say, people who are going down the wrong path. And this point of engagement is obviously one that, as I say, requires a response, and it requires engagement from the people in question. Now, that's one angle, and The other angle is when, in this particular case, when we're talking about London Bridge, we're talking about someone who has a history, a checkered past, which is down this very line of extremism, and then is let out to commit another crime. We're talking about a situation where the blame falls squarely in the realms of the justice.
Why? Zyriab, let me ask you a question, Zyriab. Sorry,
I've just sat quietly for ages. Can I just make one point? I would say that whilst obviously the criminal justice system is massively underfunded for the task it has at hand, whilst the guy was previously convicted, he was at an event with other convicted criminals. None of them decided to run rampage. One of them actually stepped in to try to tackle him. So I don't think anybody's saying that the criminal justice system is perfect. As somebody mentioned earlier, they foil plenty of attempts which they don't necessarily publicise because potentially they want to catch the people in their next attempt. So there are certainly instances of even like much lower scale criminals coming out of prison, and the probation service itself has no idea that they've been released. And I can attest to that personally because I used to do some work within that sort of vague arena. So whilst that's the case, still the guy, whether he had mental health issues, because that's the other thing. Somebody mentioned earlier, well, nobody wants to speak about his potential mental health problems, but that's all I ever hear about Islamic terrorists is that they're lone wolves. They just sadly went off the rails. You know, maybe their mum might come out or their sisters or somebody, and it's tragic for their family.
I would say the mental illness card is more used for white Christian terrorists, to be honest with you. Let me finish. Hardly ever used for Muslim unless they're completely insane. I think that's the only way they would qualify to be even considered.
And yet sometimes.
Right, can I just say my bit? Hold on 1 minute. Can I just give my look? When it comes to like white, like what you might consider to be white. People that I'm saying when you go into America and they're shooting up schools and stuff like that, they do use the mental card illness a lot.
Yeah,
but I do see. Hold on. Let me finish the sentence. And I have to agree that when it comes to like the Islamic terrorists, they don't really use the mental card. And I do believe all of them are mentally ill. Yeah, all of them. This guy on the thingy, there's something unscrewed in them. Yeah, and some of them will use the religion in order to do something to, because they're mentally ill. And the other one might use, I don't know, I hate the school. Do you understand? Yeah. They're all mentally ill. To be able to do something like that, there's got to be something unhinged in your brain mentally.
Soldiers are multiple people,
Yeah. Raj, let me just say this. One of the things you have to take into account is that in both cases, they're reading or studying some sort of political circumstance that gets them angry, frustrated, and they believe somehow doing this action will forward some agenda.
I think it's a person who, just like Raj said, I think it's a person who already...
One sec. Now, it's agreed that 100% it's predominantly used, this insane or mental case issue is predominantly used when it's white people doing it. But I'm saying focusing on this particular issue, when Zyriab, what I wanted to come in for before was when Zyriab was talking about, these particular interpretations of hadith and interpretation of Quran, I would like to ask Zyriab, number one, if the security services failed, how many different steps do you think they're going to take to clamp down and make sure it doesn't happen? And the only way I can see that happening is if they start tagging Muslims as a whole and making sure they're monitoring every blasted move you make. Because I just want to use your logic on this, right? And this is why I make one sec. Sorry, one sec. This is why I want to make sure that my group is 100% separated from other groups whose, intrinsic to their ideology is that of conquest and so on. But that's the first thing. So in relation to Zyriab, where he's saying, once we teach them the different interpretations. So what we need then, Zyriab, is for you to tell us, where is this course, where is this book that lets everyone know what the true interpretation and the non-terrorist interpretation, so everyone can see those people over there, once they're in that particular group or on that side of the line, they're on the terrorist side. Now, I've drawn that line a long time. My line is very clear. But I'm saying, how would you as a Sunni draw that line and say, right, you see what they say here? This is wrong and leads to terrorism. This is what it should be. Where can we find those books or those courses, etc., Zyriab. Thank you. Hello? Come in, Zyriab. Summaya, would you like to answer for Zyriab?
Yeah, sorry, I only caught the last bit of that. Where are the books of what?
How do you go about?
In relation to what Zyriab was saying of the security services failing, I'm saying that if we keep pushing them to take further steps towards catching people, remember this guy, he could have been someone that hadn't been on the radar at all, and he's just angry and frustrated, watching all kind of things happen in other countries, and he's frustrated of how the West has invaded countries and killing Muslims and da-da-da-da-da. And he might just go out and do this loony stuff based upon the fact he believes it's justified, based upon commentaries on the Quran, certain fabricated hadith, and certain commentaries on fabricated hadith, and the opinions of certain scholars. So I'm saying, how would the police and the security service monitor this unless they start tagging everyone who's got the label Muslim, or at the very least the label Sunni? Now, in relation to that, unless you can provide a book that details what the non-terrorist Sunni religion looks like, then how is anyone going to distinguish? So this is the thing we need to see.
I think that's an absolute fallacy, because the attachment that you at the end of how do we know the Sunni? First of all, the Sunni thing for me, it's not a conversation I'm going to engage with you about, because your aim looks like your agenda seems to be to attach, because you've detached yourself as if these concepts don't exist in your religion, whilst I know that they do. I don't know what
I'm saying is,
I mean, you're asking me.
Hold on, Summaya, hold on. No.
Most of the research has shown. Let me just finish. Most of the research has shown individuals that carry out these kind of acts are actually ignorant of Islam. So yeah, we should offer Islamic knowledge to people. There's nothing in Islam that says you should do this or could do this. Yeah, go on. Speak.
So when they've got people like Sheikh Faisal and others that have gone and studied in Medina, giving speeches back in the day, like 20 years ago, who know the Arabic, gone through the books of Tafsir, the commentary on the Quran, the Hadiths, and from those quotations, they are then telling people what to do in regards to killing Hindus. I don't know if you remember, Sheikh Faisal said about
Sorry, I need to go. Yeah, so I might be back later. Sorry, man.
One sec. Specifically, Sheikh Faisal said.
Hold on a minute. First of all, this is not a funny thing. Like, again, if I was to Google some Shia scholars now, I can find one saying smash their babies, smash them all, even including their children.
Summaya, the problem is you do not find a backlog of continuous people that are under the Shia label doing these actions. So I'm saying, I don't mind if you go and do that.
Oh, they are doing these actions. They're just not doing it maybe over here. Hold on, they're not doing it over here, but they're definitely
Summaya, I want you to listen, yeah? The conversation is about terrorism in the UK, okay? We can't really speak too much.
No, so then stay in that framework. Hold on, when you're talking to me, stay in that framework. Don't give me about Sunni scholars and Sunni this.
No, I'm talking, because these guys, if they were neutral Muslims, so to speak.
No, I know these guys are the ones that you're trying to play by keep attaching Sunni to it as though you're, like I said, you're thinking.
Summaya.
A relevant question. Was this guy a Sunni?
He wasn't reported.
Was he a Sunni?
I mean, we are the majority. I'd assume it's safe to say.
Sunni, the guy on the bridge.
It wasn't. I don't think he was reported.
Summaya, was he a Sunni?
I don't know, Kate.
His area, his ethnicity, something might give us a clue.
He's Pakistani, or his ethnic background, I think, is Pakistani.
Wasn't he? Or Pakistani?
Sorry?
I think he was Bangladeshi, wasn't he? I don't know.
No, I don't think he was Bangladesh.
I've got a
feeling I read a little bit about his life.
It would have been publicised because it would have been unusual.
They said he was Bangladeshi. That's what someone said. Someone has already said online he was Bangladeshi. If he was a Shia, most guaranteed it would be something massive, and these lot would not stop saying this. Look at your Shia terrorists. Look at you. That's what they would have said. So we just know he was a Sunni anyway.
We can find thousands of Shia terrorism. We're not about that life, really. That's fine. You turn everything. That's why I can't.
You're not looking. You don't need to. The point is, that's fine. What the point I'm making is the same way how you've come on to speak about what you would like to speak about. I'm thoroughly within my intelligent right to make sure that people know there's a distinction, because when people like you try to make excuses and do taqiyya, I, as having the label Muslim, have to make sure I distance myself from your type of people.
So that's a very good point, sir. A very good point, Isa. So I have a question for you that I'm not sure she's going to answer your question, but I understand it's well framed. I have a different question for you. So if I reverse this and say, let's say I'm not a Muslim, I'm an ordinary British citizen, and I want to use the no true Scotsman fallacy, how is a Brit meant to differentiate if he knows no difference between Shia and Sunnism? And I would argue a lot of Brits would have no idea, nor would they be interested in finding out.
Totally agree. And this is where, I'll be honest, most of the Shia that come from other countries, they still have that fear factor. Now, obviously, I'm raised here. So for me, the only way to do it literally is to do it as I'm doing it. To literally come out and say, this is a totally separate religion. This is what we teach, and that's what they teach. And this is why it's not like some little sectarian beef. I'm just saying, it's a separate religion, and they say the same. So I don't know why they get upset when I make the distinction, because if you said to them, oh, you Muslims beat yourself, they would immediately say, no, that's the Shia. So basically, Ralph, the key to this is spreading the word, and this is why I ask people, please just say Sunni Muslim and Shia Muslim. So people can make a clear distinction.
I'm no scholar about Islam or anything. I can appreciate your distinction, though my next follow-up question would be, and I'm not sure you probably may or may not be qualified to answer that, is there a way to answer your question? Is there a source of authoritative text that help discern the radical bits from Sunni Islam? Are there such people doing this? Do you know of any? Or are there any people saying, let's say somehow, because I appreciate the normal thing is going to be you can't reform Islam, blah, blah, blah. But the point is within Sunni Islam, so I'm going to put you off the table for a second. Do you know if there are groups and movements trying to work out things that would say, oh, don't look at the problem this way, because it leads to radicalization?
The thing is, Islam was reformed. Wahhabism came from the Reformation.
My battery might go. So let me just say this, Kate. The issue is the Shia community is, especially from the leadership of Iran and Iraq and these various other countries, they and the scholars and so on are trying to create this unity thing. And I'm saying because they don't want more warfare and bombs and stuff. So it's natural for them to say that. So you're not finding that many people in the scholarship or imams of mosques preaching this because they are fearful that Sunnis will come and blow them up. So I believe it's up to us to make that clear distinction, because otherwise we're literally going to have, innocent people being attacked because what these people do. Imagine a nun, somebody doesn't know that a nun is a Christian. They just think she's wearing the hijab and she's a Muslim, and attacking her, thinking they're attacking a Sunni. That's what happens to Shia sisters. Do you get what I'm saying? So my point is, all you don't need to do is notice
being targeted, though they may have no connection. So I can appreciate that aspect, even if it's not a Christian, right? But still, I'm trying to work out. So it looks like the short answer is not much has been done to help provide a theological basis of why people should not be radicalized. Is that right?
The point I think that Isa made before is quite relevant, is that there are people like Faisal who are being allowed or were previously allowed to disseminate Quranic scripture in such a way as to justify and call for violent attacks within, Western society, I guess. So back to Abu Qasim, it's the same sort of literature that he was promulgating, which not only justifies Quranically, but endorses and promotes these actions. So whereby the vast majority of Sunni and Shia people clearly disagree, just obviously, they don't feel the need to come out and say it because to them it's so obviously they may not say it's un-Quranic, but they'll say these aren't verses to be promoted in times of peace.
That's a good point, because it sounds almost like rather than having people run around with gossip, right, and the speakers saying, other people running around saying, get Adnan, get this person, get that.
Ralph, it's all right. Whilst these people are able to promote and endorse these things, we need to have equally publicised, I guess, Islamic and non-Islamic scholars of the Quran to be able to refute their points and to be able to publicly denounce those actions in such a way that they're not denouncing their religion or the Quran, which is obviously untenable for them, but to be able to counter them with different scripture and other verses.
Brilliant. So,
well, this is the thing, Kate. Oh, sorry, let me just say something very quick. Kate, that is literally impossible with Sunniism. Because the people they hold as the examples of the religion are Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and these other people known as Sahaba. They are the first terrorists. So these are the examples that they take. So sorry, let me just finish this bit. So when they keep quoting the Quran for you, and all these other things to get out, you're going to the wrong place. Remember, they say they take the example and understanding of the Sahaba. So you need to focus on that level there. You need to read about Abu Bakr, what he was about, what Umar was about. They boast about how Umar bin Khattab conquered the most amount of land. Do you think he spread Islam through leaflets and the email? They didn't exist at the time. So when they're praising this guy,
but I just to understand right, you're saying it goes all the way up to the first derivative followers. I don't understand enough about Islam.
The associates of the Prophet.
Yeah, the associates, the followers. Yeah, the associates. Yeah, the Talmud. So you're saying you can trace that doctrine pretty much to one away from Muhammad, right?
No, what he's saying is Sunnism extols these guys rather than just the Prophet alone, or just
No, but Ralph's question is correct. It starts. This is what I'm saying, Ralph. It literally became two religions after the Prophet. So I'm saying the other one, the non-Islam, kept the label Islam. But my point is, when you want to deal with them, you have to talk about Abu Bakr, Umar, and Uthman. These people who were the people that developed this terrorist ideology under the banner Islam, because it began with them and then it evolved from there.
Because of militant conquest, I assume, right?
Exactly. So just think about the people who get this terrorist ideology first. They don't know what Islam is. Do you get what I'm saying? They just know that people have conquered. They've said this is Islam.
Verses in the Quran, because that would be.
Yo.
Sorry, say that again.
Hey yo.
Sorry, Lee.
Yo, yeah. Man's looking to wrap up the thing, you know. I'm gonna make everyone say their last sentences still, and then my brother Aspect, if anybody wants to continue listening to this topic being discussed, my brother Aspect, I think he's live with the same topic. You get me, sir? If you want to go over there after I lock off this one, it's an option. But yeah, everybody say their last sentences, and man's gonna lock off to be continued. You get me? Hopefully we can come in again. But yeah, I'll wrap that up when I'm finished after everybody else. So yeah, if everyone wants to say their one.
I'll be a quick one. I'd like to talk to you further about the C7, but probably best in the corner or something. But if you have 5-10 minutes, I'm curious what your views. That's it. I'm out.
Peace. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. All right. So I guess what I'd say, just in conclusion, just somebody just mentioned to me that liberalism, as was discussed earlier, has completely failed, really. And just coming into tomorrow's election without wanting to influence anyone, please don't go anywhere near the left. So, like, as a religion, Christianity really does need to, like, it's not, it's truly a religion of peace. It's a religion of love and forgiveness and the eternal mercy of God through, the sacrifice of Christ, not to get too tambourine about it. But, if you've got any questions about, a more bold form of Christianity, then Bob is always open for questions about that. But I would like to say that whilst I've got a lot of love for Muslims as people, we can't deny that there are violent verses, and people come back and say, oh, but the Old Testament, but there aren't many, Jewish Torah-only guys strapping stuff to them and going on bridges. So I think the violent verses will never be abrogated now, because I don't think there's anyone in authority to do so. But it needs to be made clear, like I said, whether it's by Sunnis or Shias, that it just won't be tolerated within your own communities, because there could have been, like Issa says, there could have been just Muslims who just didn't have a headscarf, who are just men just walking across that bridge, and they're going to be also, innocent victims of, could be mental illness, but it could just be adherence to scripture that's then been distorted whilst in prison, and whilst we know that prison radicalises people in ways that we wish it didn't. And those are my last words. Thanks.
I respect you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Leon, darling. Bye.
See you there. Good night. Yo, who's that? Takia Watch. He said your car already didn't even say peace, so I'll go on. Takia Watch, you want to say something before we wrap up the show?
Yeah. Just give me 30 seconds. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to give you an offer. I'm doing live stream tomorrow with probably like 50-60% will be Christians, and the rest will be half Muslim and half agnostic and atheist. And we want to, I guess, talk about this stuff. And you're also going to give you some questions. I mean, are you open for taking questions from majority Christians?
What time? What time?
I think 8 p.m. UK time. I'm gonna invite.
You know, I was scheduled to go on Sir Faz's channel tomorrow. You know, we're supposed to be talking about.
I mean, we're gonna do a couple of hours. So what time is? I mean,
but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make Sir Faz's one because I got some filming job that comes up still. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have any time.
If you cannot make it, it's fine. Like if you have 20 minutes, you can jump on. It's gonna be mostly Christians. I'll tell you the truth, but it's gonna be half. The other half.
What's it gonna be about?
That's left. It's just going to discuss the field. I mean, it's happening a lot of things in my country. It's happening a lot of things in your country. I mean, you're having people evicted. And, I mean, we want to find a harmony, right? But it also means that we have to speak the truth.
Yeah.
So if it's going to be on Surface channel, I'm fine with that. But, yeah, I mean, basically we need truth.
Right.
Yeah. But I support your work. I think you're being very unbiased. At least what you believe yourself in your private is different from what you present in your presentation. You let people from different camps speak, and I think people should respect that, or else they're biased standing in the way.
Yeah, respect.
All right, I'm gonna leave the mic for someone else to speak.
All right, respect, brother. Peace.
Yeah, you got me here, bro.
Your time, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone died out. I managed to get on my laptop. So, yeah, sorry. I'll just say this. In relation to what Kay was saying, I understand what she's saying. She understands the verses generally from a Sunni perspective, and obviously it is up to the Shia community to give the proper understanding of Islam, where people will understand it's a system of justice. You get me? People can already see just by a lot of the mannerisms of general Shia and general people who, when you see them doing the terrorist acts, what they say before and how they justify what they're doing. If you look at our examples, the 12 divinely appointed successors after the Prophet, these are people of peace and justice. Whereas you look at the examples of the Sunnis, they're continuous terrorists. So this can't be changed. This is their history. So we have to understand that these successors of the Prophet knew the Quran better than us, and they were not terrorists. How Sunni became a terrorist religion was not by following the Quran. It became a terrorist religion by making up hadith. This is the key thing, and that's why I asked them in regards to their commentary on the Quran, their hadith, and their commentary on the hadith. This is how they created this new religion called Sunnism. So, yeah, hopefully we can get this thing down to a T. And my advice to everybody is please make a distinction, even if you don't like so-called Shia or true Islam, please just speak about something as Sunni Islam and Shia Islam, so that we can make a clear distinction and we won't be treating people with injustice. Simple as that. So thank you for having me on the panel, brothers. Thank you for the listeners.
Yeah, are you going now?
I respect. Yeah, man's wrapping up. Man's wrapping up the show still. Everyone's saying the closing words.
I thought I might just do a little chat. So a lot of people are getting a bit upset. Obviously, they're getting upset.
Well, Sunni pagans are naturally. Sunni pagan devils would naturally get upset when the truth is told. I mean, they always want to make a distinction when it comes to us beating ourselves, etc. But when it comes to things where there's terrorism involved, all of a sudden they want us to be under the same umbrella. Why is that? If we're different religions, we're different religions. Don't have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one thing I was getting annoyed about.
No. We ain't gonna make that. We ain't gonna go into that still. We ain't gonna go into that still. It's closing statement.
I'm just saying that.
Closing statement.
So basically, a lot of people are going to be upset over the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to lie. And what I'll say to that is tough shit. I'm sorry. I gave people plenty of chances to kind of like challenge or even try and call out this individual. I highlighted him. I mean, big up to Shamsi for doing that. And he was one of the few that actually called him out. Paul, who also called him out. And but there were other individuals that, as you know who their names are, not only did they not call them out, they were closely linked to the guy and actually tried to, I don't know, sweep it under the carpet. And so I will, when I go Speaker's Corner, and I've spoken to the police here, and yes, so I'm going to warn people, I am now going to be on Rajnator mode, heckle mode. Yeah, heckle mode means I'm going to be mainly heckling at Speaker's Corner for a while. So I've figured out the boundaries so I don't get banned, and hopefully I can stay within those boundaries and still make my point. So if you don't want to hear heckling, just don't come to the part then, or don't listen. So be warned, Leon. Be warned. Heckle mode's in.
All right.
Oh, Leon, sorry, can you just repeat what the challenge was for Takia Watch, please? Because I missed that.
The challenge for Takia Watch?
Yeah, what did he say? He said he challenges something or something.
No,
what was that?
He said he's going to do one show tomorrow. He wanted me to be on there. He's going to have a bag of Christians. He said he wants half Christians and half Muslims. He wants me on there. He said he wants to ask me some questions. Can't remember exactly what it's about though, still. I don't think he specified what it's about.
It actually sounds hilarious.
Yeah, sounds hilarious.
Okay, Raj, you got to take this a bit more seriously because sometimes it sounds like, because we're talking about life and death for a lot of people out there, you know what I mean? So
yeah, I know, but it's just the way I am, man. When serious situations are very inappropriate, I'm sorry, I can't change myself. I've tried.
We're trying to get you some Rajnator.
But I will say it is deadly serious, no doubt about it. But also doesn't mean you can't bring a little bit of what I call kind of humour to things to put your point across.
Man said it's deadly serious.
So even when I'm going to be talking about this, I'm going to do it in a way that can, it'll be a little bit humorous as well, because people tend to.
Cool, man.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with kind of using humour to get a point across as well. Yeah. Have you spoken to Razza or anyone?
Hey, yo, I don't think you understand the concept of wrapping up, Raj. You keep an open and new conversations.
Big up.
It's a wrap, man. I can't even hear you.
I'm out, bro.
It's a wrap.
Anyway, peace and love to the panel. Peace and love to Leon.
All right, anyway, take care. Something's happened to my mic anyway.
Respect. Done, no.
Bless.
All right, then. Respect for everybody that came on. Remember, the moral of the story is don't snitch on yourself. If you know you're a criminal or you want to do crime, keep it to yourself. But most of all, don't do it. That being said, if you still choose to do something when you know is against the law and you do it in a public forum, just remember, fucking hell, I try to play something, and nothing didn't play. Hey, yo, give me 1 sec, man. Let me try to rearrange this thing, man. Bamba Cloud, the audio's been fucking me up today, man. That was my outro, fam. I was trying to be all smooth and all of that. Bamba Cloud. This one named Blood Clot. Alright. Yeah. So remember, all of that fancy shit what I just said a while ago, let's erase everything I said after that until you heard this. Yeah.
Yo, that Rap Snitches shit on the Doom album, that's easily one of the greatest shits ever. Rap Snitches, telling all their business, taking the court, they be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. That shit was hilarious. I was like, this song needs to be out now. Needs to be a hit. Just say like, oh my God. How you gonna sell crack and talk about it? Right. That's the point of selling crack. It's supposed to be a secret.
Yo. MF Doom. Mr. Fantastic. Villain. What up, nigga? Ain't nothing. What's the word? It's cracking, boy. Same old shit, kid. Man. Rap Snitches, man. Shit is bugged out, man. What the fuck, man? Niggas running their mouth. Telling everything. Rap Snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label sent up for years. Rap snitches, telling all their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years. Tight profile, low, like 8 and paid in full. Attract heavy cash, cut the game centrifugal. Mr. Fantastic, long though like elastic. Got my life with twin Glocks that's made out of plastic. Can stand a brown nosing nigga, fake ass bastard. Admiring my style, tall bust through Manhattan, plotting, playing the quickest. My flow's the sickest, my hoes be the thickest. My dro, the stickiest. Street nigga, stamped and bona fide. When beef jump, niggas come get me cause they know I ride. True to the ski mask, New York's my origin. Play a fake gangster like an old accordion. According to him, when the D's rushed in, complication from the wild testimony was thin. Caused this man to go up and off the board, hit him again. Lame rap snitch, nigga, even told on the Mexican. Rap snitches, telling on their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years. Rap snitches, telling on their business. Sit in the court and be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Fuck around, get the whole label center for years.
True, there's rules to this shit. Fools dare care. Everybody wanna rule the world with tears for fear. Yeah, tell it on the mountain hill. Running up their mouth bill. Everybody doubting still. Informer, keep it up and get tested. Pop through your bubble vest or double-breasted. He keep a lab down south in the Little Beast. So much heat you would've thought it was the Middle East. A little grease always keeps the wheels spinning like sitting on 23s to get the squealers grinning. Hitting on many trees, feel real linen. Spitting on enemies, get the steel for 10 men. With no brains but gum flap. He said his gun clapped, then he fled after one slap. Son, shut your trap, save it for the bitches. Delicious, rap snitch, delicious.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man. I'm just analyzing this whole game. It's just bugged out, man. Niggas snitching, telling on their own selves. Fuck around, gonna get anybody bag, man. Fuck around and get your mama bag, man. You know your grandma used to be bootlegging, fake hustling, nigga.
Yeah, that's a wrap, man. Peace for everybody that's watched the show. Peace to everybody commenting. Peace to everybody spreading the algorithm enhancer. Make more people see the video button. You get me? Yeah, like as I said, my brother Aspect, I think he's live streaming still. He was doing the same topic, you get me, sir? Go log on to that if you're still up, if you're gonna stay up, if you ain't going bed. Tomorrow, my brother Sir Faz is doing a stream. Pardon me, Sir Faz, I might not be able to make it, man, car. Man got some work, some filming job just came up, you get me? So I'm probably gonna end up doing that, man. So I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it. But yeah, that's gonna be running tomorrow from 8 p.m. It's the same time Takia Watch is doing his thing, but I was supposed to be part of that Sir Faz's show where the topic is that this apparently they're supposed to be teaching masturbation. They're gonna make it compulsory for 6-year-olds. You get me? I don't know if they're starting from next year or the year after or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be the topic of discussion. It's gonna be various different communities on the same panel, which I rate definitely is the way forward, I believe, in order to exert some real power over man's environment, you get me? The more people of diverse backgrounds coming together to agree on issues that affect us all is the more in control of how our environment is, as opposed to rules just being handed down to us that we're against, you get me? So it's definitely a good precedent that Sir Faz has undertaken to get various different communities together on the same panel to discuss issues that affect us all, rather than relying on middlemen to misuse and abuse and put one against the other to our own detriment. You get me, sir? That's tomorrow at 8 p.m. But yeah, COE, I'm out. Peace to everybody for coming on. Spread love, not war. And don't be a rap snitch. Simple. We out. Peace.